that we would have an opportunity to continue playing, which is important because that smacked us in the face last year. I don't know if a lot of our guys realized going into that game that it was
Good
winner go
evening,
home.
everybody, and welcome to one of those special games. One of those games you circle on the calendar way back in the spring. It's week 2 here in the high school football season.
We know that that's an opportunity to
Salle
continue playing, and our guys love playing for each other and with each other. We love coaching them, so we want to try and keep it together as long as possible, and that's a opportunity where if the things fall how they fall, we'll have an opportunity to guarantee ourselves to play a couple more games outside of PCL play.
Yeah, I know you always laugh when I say it, and your retort when we were talking to Father Judge a couple weeks ago was, you think about the history of the guards in the Catholic League, and that's all fair. When I talk about this group of guards, and I call you guys guard high, I say that because, last year it was Laquan Bird added to this group. Right now, Morton Rivera, Kavar Kennedy, Nazir Tyler, now a sophomore, right? To have that quality, a trio, and even quartet with the young guy coming in as well, your freshman, I don't know the question other than, is that how you're looking to build your program with around guards like that?
I think guards win in our league. I think if you historically look at the teams that have won, they've had great guards. If you look at all the Newman teams, when Newman was on the dynasty, they had great guards. When Roman, even with Tony Carr and recently with X and guys like that, great guards win. Our wood teams, you got guys like Colin Gillespie and Rasul Diggins and Marcus Randolph, Jalen Stinson, Matt Cerruti, guards, right? So guards win a lot of basketball games. They handle the ball, probably 90% of the time. And it's a guards game now. It really is a guards game. You don't see many bigs. And I think also when you look at our area,
I think it's going to be a great battle. It's going to be a great game. And I think we're all going to have a good time down here in OCC.
We have Everett.
You got one of them. Yeah.
And outside last year, you had Thomas, but outside of, there's not a lot of 6'10" guys rolling around in our league that are dominant post players. So when you get one of them, it's a big advantage from there. But I think, it is a guards-oriented league.
Last year they won a PCL championship.
This
year I think they're going to look to do that and go even further into the state playoffs. All week there's been kind of a buzz around the school, like, are you going down the shore?
I just think that's the nature of the game
kind of
now.
everyone's
So
been
yes, we
talking
do want
about,
a lot of guards.
so
We want to get
exciting.
off a lot of threes. We want to play a
Jack
fast-paced
McGuire
game.
back with us. Jack has
and
done
guards,
great work
we
with
need
us
the guards
over
to
the
do
summer,
that,
helping us produce some
to
content.
compete.
And the man knows football as well.
Chris, thank you
Jack,
so
welcome
much
to
for
the
your time.
telecast.
Wish you the
Your
best
thoughts on this one here tonight?
Thursday.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how LaSalle
again play well, and maybe we'll be talking down at the
I know they had a
Palestra
game
in a
last
week or
week.
two.
They dominated Pittsburgh
Bob. I
Central
appreciate it.
Catholic. And
Thanks,
Bob,
Chris.
you were saying about how they were doing.
Let's talk to Andrew Bowman, assistant coach and a longtime assistant coach with Carl Aragale,
getting ready to lift, and I would see him in the weight room pumping music.
Andrew,
More importantly,
congratulations
pumping
on
the
a
weights.
great late
I think
season,
that they're going to be
late
prepared
season
here,
surge
and
to get
I'm
from
excited to see
kind
the
of
student
brink
sections
of
have a battle all
playoff
night.
contention to
Two
the
matchups
5
that I
seed
really want
and
to
a team
focus
nobody
on. The
wants
first
to
is going to
play,
be
heading to
LaSalle's
Northeast
offensive
Philadelphia
line,
to
returning
take on
4 of
Father
5
Judge.
starters.
How'd you
and
guys
all
get to
5
this
guys
point,
played
Andrew?
minutes.
Yeah, first of all, thanks, Bob, for having us on and doing this. Yeah, it was the last week or so, kind of across the league, not just for us, but other
Against
teams.
the front four defensively
People were
for
going from the
Malvern
10
Prep,
seed
that's
to the
just
6
terrific.
seed, back to the
Jackson
9
Ford,
seed, to the
a
5
senior,
seed, and
6'5",
it came down
240
to,
pounds.
basically
He
the
is a
last
Penn State
day
University
there on
commit.
Sunday.
And George Parkinson,
where,
a sophomore at
the city
6'4",
went nuts with
225.
me,
Bendy has bounce, can get into the
yeah,
backfield. A 4'6",
some kind of
40.
good
And a young
wins
man
for us
that's one
after
of 2 players in the
tough one
state
to the
of
prep,
Pennsylvania in
losing
that sophomore class
at the prep.
to be in
That was, I guess,
ESPN's
on
top
that
100.
Monday.
Those
And
2 guys off the edge will
then
go
we were
against
at West
terrific
Catholic.
offensive linemen for LaSalle, including the number
And
13 player in the country, Grayson
and kind of,
Pugh,
two must-win games just sort of
292 pounds, and a
dictate
Notre Dame
our path,
prospect.
not having to play in
And
that
who they
first
will they
round.
be protecting? Let's turn this one to Pat
Getting the
Burkhead.
5 seed,
Gavin
getting to
Sidwar,
play,
the quarterback
Judge
for
at Judge.
LaSalle High School. It's going to be those
What are
edge
some of the
rushers
challenges
trying to
that
take on LaSalle's
Judge
staunch
provides
offensive
in
line.
your?
And
Listen,
Gavin
it's a quick
Sidwar looking to have the
turnaround,
time
right?
to deliver down the
You're
field.
playing Thursday
Gavin
rather
Sidwar
than
is just a really
Friday
talented
now, but in
quarterback.
that
We saw it
time
last
since
year. He has
Super Bowl Sunday, what have you seen from Judge, and what will those
at a very
challenges
high
be?
level.
Yeah, I mean, they,
I'm excited to see
they
how
have a
we
lot
saw
of senior
Owen
leadership
Johnson
there.
and Joey O'Brien
Some
today,
guys
who
have
we
been very
both
good.
saw have good games against Pittsburgh Central Catholic. So, like you said, it's important to keep his jersey clean and let him get the ball off in time.
We're going to take a break here. We have
Miles Tyler.
about
there's some good kids
8
there.
minutes to go until we kick
played
off
them
here from Carey
earlier in the
Stadium.
year.
Stay with us on
Probably both
Bob
projected
Sports.
to
This
hit
is LaSalle
100
College High
points at
School
one point in
football,
time during the game.
and we want to thank all of
They
our
were just up
Malvern
and down,
fans
swap
who
of
have joined
swap
us
of
here
two, stuff
tonight.
like
A
that.
terrific program, a lot of respect
And
between
to
these two
have any
particular
success,
schools.
there
We'll get it
this
going
week,
in just a few
we're gonna have
minutes.
to play better defense than what we did.
State income taxes,
Get them there, against them there last time. And we've been trending kind of in that right direction of how we started off the year.
They really know where the need is. This program
some tough ones against Salle, for the opener and Judge, and kind of sort of been piecing it together the last couple of weeks. Get a little tighter situation.
Turn your PA State tax liability into need-based scholarships and receive a 90%.
And one of the guys that really has
Duncan
played
Ford
well
is
in the
Mayfair's
last couple of weeks, I know you call him
Nobody knows your neighborhood.
Alisane Njai. What has he brought to the table, versatility-wise, stat stuffing-wise, that has made the difference in the last few weeks?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much roll the ball out, and it's almost like a guaranteed double-double for you, and it's going to be pretty efficient, too.
7,700
it was against
online at
www.duncanford.com.
Come experience the Dumpy difference. You'll be glad you did.
That day. Actually didn't have a lot of rebounds, but
my name is Patrick Donahue, franchise consultant with Franchise,
points and like
the premier network of franchise consultants
in the last 3 or 4 games for it.
Franchise is a company that helps people find a franchise business that's the perfect fit
for them. I would assume over 70%.
We work with the people who want to own a business but don't really know how to find
one. On his misses, he's probably grabbing his own rebound
and a great match.
And putting it back out. Sometimes
we specialize in franchise opportunities with the following 3 characteristics.
He's also a pretty smart kid. He kind of understands the game systems pretty well.
The best thing about our service is that it's free to the public. We're paid by franchise companies for this service.
Athleticism to him as well. Like we've had success with like Lorenzo last year and Sultan, a couple years prior to that, kind of those like undersized big guys who kind of play and guard multiple positions. And
once we have that model, we'll share that with 3 great opportunities that match your criteria. I will follow up with you through the entire process. Obviously, the best
and right at the tail end there, I don't know if it's the earbuds, but kind of lost you right at the end. We heard most of that without saying, but maybe we'll switch to the back court and talk about Deshaun and what they bring to the table. You think about Newman Goretti, you think about great guards. What do those two do well?
Oh, absolutely. Let me take my...
They said it couldn't be done, but somehow CCM was able to close this home in
I think it is,
days.
actually.
Hard work.
Yeah, I mean...
grinding.
Were you ever worried?
Well, Chloe, they pinned us in deep in the second.
Remiss to talk about Newman without talking about guards. And
well, I'm sure the Franklins were
Carl's kind of always had them. Munchie and
we got a good organization.
And Deshaun have been good for us this year.
Good luck with the next
obviously, we're excited we get them again next year, too.
Cross-country mortgages dedicated
with them being juniors, kind of been playing behind some of the guys we've had over the last few years, in Rob Wright, Kafik Myers, and even some of our guys going back further than that when they were freshmen.
Or relocated. This can be an exciting time.
They set the tone for us, set the pace for us. Having Cody in there in the mix too, kind of playing off the ball a little bit, shooting it at a pretty high clip at times for us helps.
Expert on your side,
and and then Keon.
What if this expert had no conflicts of interest, no landlords to answer to, and a fiduciary responsibility to work solely in your best interest? Someone who knows the questions to ask, the levers to pull, the pitfalls to avoid. Enter the experts at Gola Corporate Real Estate. They've seen it all over the course of thousands of transactions in dozens of industries. Gola gets it. And what if those experts came with a team? Subject matter experts to manage everything that comes with this process. Space planning and design, relocation planning and budgeting, helping you manage your vendors, construction oversight, all with 0 out-of-pocket cost to you. A turnkey experience that adds real value that flows right to your bottom line. Gola gets it. We've been partnering with clients like you for over 40 years, and we know what's important: solving problems, creating flexibility, protecting and stretching your dollars. Philadelphia-based with a national presence. Get to know Gola. Gola gets it.
When your car needs repairs and you can't wait, Meineke can help. With life's crazy schedule between work and family, you'll love Meineke's same-day service. Call today and Meineke will get your car in today. For new brakes, exhaust repairs, or your check engine light comes on, trust Meineke to do the job right. And families have been coming to Meineke for years because Meineke works on any make or model vehicle. Same-day service, value, and trust. Meineke, doing car care right.
Be a part of the biggest live events. The must-see matches. The game day celebrations. Experience live sports and entertainment the way they're meant to be seen. With Joe Hand Promotions, the global leader of live entertainment for bars, restaurants, and cinemas. Create unforgettable moments that fans won't want to miss. Keep the food and drinks flowing with watch parties that will bring customers in the door and expand dwell time. And watch as these visitors turn into loyal customers with exclusive content relationships with the nation's largest sports and entertainment providers. In over 10,000 bars, restaurants, and cinemas across America, and customizable packages for every type of venue. Make your business the place for the next must-see event. Because if fans can't make it to the stadium or arena, your venue is the next best place.
Next Play Basketball is an AAU program in the greater Philadelphia area. They offer camps, clinics, and private training for boys and girls, 3rd to 11th graders. They teach the next play mentality to help athletes have success on and off the court. Next Play coaches focus on each player's development through high-level coaching and a competitive environment. If you would like to join the Next Play family, go to nextplaybasketball.com for more information. They are hosting spring tryouts on January 11th.
The last 5 to 6 years, I think we're in for a good one. It's going to be a battle, won or lost in the trenches from either side. And yeah, I'm thinking a high-scoring game today.
Tyler Kern there on the broadcast. Bob Long, Keith Binsfeld, Jack McGuire, Jack Burns, Pat Burkhead alongside. Battle at the Beach, episode 6, I believe, as we go way back in the machine here to think about all the times that these two programs have gotten together. It's become quite a rivalry. LaSalle, this is the year for them. They sure think so. Feel like it's an opportunity for them to take down St. Joe's Prep and advance in a state tournament. Malvern Prep, they have owned the Interact, and the question is, can they continue to win at a high level?
Good evening. On behalf of the Malvern Prep community, our head of school, Dr. Patrick Sillip, and as a host of this year's Battle at the Beach, we welcome the LaSalle community, in particular their president, Brother James Butler, his staff, faculty, and students and their families. LaSalle College Prep High School is enlivened by the tradition of the LaSallian education in shaping Christian gentlemen, inspired by St. John Baptiste de LaSalle, founder of the Christian Brothers. St. Augustine, spiritual founder of the Augustinian Friars, the tradition of our Holy Father, Pope Leo XIV, and the founders of Malvern Prep, inspires us to encourage one another with hearts on fire towards truth, unity, and love. What our two schools share is a brotherhood rooted in Christ. We also take a moment to acknowledge that Malvern Prep recently mourns the loss of Augustinian friar Father Jim Flynn, a former teacher, administrator, and head of school and longtime football chaplain. We also call to mind and heart the Community Annunciation Church and school in Minneapolis, especially for the repose of the souls of the two children who lost their lives this past week. Please join us in honoring a moment of silent prayer in their memory. Let us pray. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Loving God, thank you for this beautiful day, our school communities, coaches, and these student athletes. May we honor the gifts we have received of our talent, hard work, and team by playing to the best of our abilities with humility and heart, free of injury and always to your glory. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. And may God bless us, the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. You have made us for yourself, O Lord. Our hearts are restless until they rest in you. St. John Baptiste de La Salle, pray for us. St. Augustine, pray for us.
Now, please rise and remove your hats as we honor the United States of America. Tonight's national anthem is being performed by the La Salle College High School Pep Band.
Big round of applause for the Salle College Pep Band. Let's get ready to play Battle of the Beach.
What a way to get this one started here from Ocean City High School. Again, Bob Long with Tyler Kern and a trio of LaSalle College High School students making their football broadcast debut. We're thrilled to have them here on Bob Long Sports. Keith Binsfeld, terrific on camera always, and we're excited to have him with us here today. LaSalle will wear white today with a gold helmet. Malvern Prep with the silver helmets, M on the side, and navy tops and bottoms. Depending upon where you look, these are two top 5 teams in the state of Pennsylvania, basically any way you shake it out. It's PIAA versus Interact, Philadelphia Catholic League against an independent school in Malvern Prep, and two programs that think a ton of one another. Chris Heck will kick this one deep for LaSalle. And Gibson is back deep to receive for Malvern Prep, and as you might expect at a game at the beach on not that windy of a day, but the ball blows off the tee.
Chris Heck.
This one towards Danny Riley, and Riley misplays it. Riley, though, breaks a tackle, and has room to go out to the 30-yard line and more, out to the 40, and finally ripped down there.
That is a huge return by Riley. He did fumble the ball there, but it almost bought him some time for his blocks to develop, and he made a beeline for the right sideline for a really nice return there.
And so Malvern Prep will come out onto the field, led by the quarterback, Jackson Melconian, a senior, a baseball star, headed to Vanderbilt next year to play shortstop, and a young man who won the job, who was in a quarterback battle this time last year, based on his performance in the second half of this game. He ended up earning that spot, keeping it throughout the rest of the season, and leading Malvern Prep to an Interact title. He'll take the snap and hand it off. Inside zone running there, and Zeke Bates, the running back, bounced it off tackle. Bates, a Minnesota University commit.
I was about to say, Bates looks pretty big out there at 6 foot 215 for a high school running back. Great job by the Gold Helmets, kind of wrapping him up for a minimal gain.
Bates will be joined at times in the backfield by Danny Riley, the senior, and Julius Riddick, a sophomore at 5'9", 195. Cade Cooper, terrific wide receiver with big-time Power 4 interest. This time they'll flip it out wide to Riley. Riley gets downhill right to the 50-yard line, wrapped up there by the Explorers. It'll be third down and about 4 yards to go. Line to gain is out at the 46 of LaSalle.
Picks up about 4 yards, third and 5.
About what you can ask for on second down there after a minimal gain on first down, leaving you in 3rd and 5 and possibly 4 down territory here.
And keep an eye on number 8. He's looking to the sideline, looking for some gauges as what to do next. That is Jackson Ford, the Penn State defensive end commit. A quick snap, Melconian able to come up with it, firing underneath, and it's going to be close. All comes down to the spot. They called it a catch, and he was down before the ball came out. He is spotted a yard short.
That's funny. You mentioned Ford. He was not set there. I was surprised they didn't call that a false start. He was still moving when the ball was snapped.
That was Cade Cooper with the catch. And on 4th and 1, for the time being, here comes Ian Gopez with a UConn offer, a great punter and kicker. 4th down and 2 yards to go, and the question will be, do they have anything up their sleeve just a minute into this game? Owen Johnson back deep to receive for LaSalle. Gopez gets it off well. And Johnson backs off. It'll take a Malvern Prep hop to about the 9-yard line, and that's where the LaSalle offense will start. Let's turn to our students here. Jack Burns, starting with you. What did you think of the first defensive sequence there of the football game?
I think it was a good start. I think it was good. We didn't let them get that far. I think we had some great stops on their passes. We really held back their running, and I think overall we played a great defense that little bit.
Melconian there that time wasn't quite ready for the play, but again, like a shortstop, getting a short hop there, able to come up with the football, made it close on 3rd down. Here comes LaSalle onto the field. Gavin Sidwar, the senior quarterback, Missouri commit. Missouri was in action last night with their season opener. Here's a handoff to Azir Nelson. 3rd-year running back, but in reality, Tyler, he's played very little football. Played a little bit as a freshman. He was injured almost the entirety, well, really the entirety of his sophomore year. Got 7 off tackle that time.
Yeah, just a very talented guy, like you said. Hasn't played much football the last few years, so it's kind of like his time to shine this year.
Chima Auguste out to the wide side of the field. 3 wide receiver set. Again, they'll go to Nelson. They're trying to go up the middle, and he bounces it off the tackle. A gain of 5 when he needed 3. First down for LaSalle.
Yeah, Bob, I think one thing we see a lot in Azir Nelson is he's such a tough runner. He just runs through guys, but he's also fast. He kind of has a lot to his game for a running back.
Wideouts we'll see today. J.P. Oates playing at the tight end position, but can split out to a slot-type receiver. Joey O'Brien, the Notre Dame commit. Owen Johnson, a sophomore. Chima Auguste, we talked about. We'll occasionally see Jimmy Mahoney in a contest. Sidwar flings it out wide, and flags come in. That was a dead ball foul there, the way they stopped that play. It felt a little late, but here's the call. It was a false start against LaSalle.
Sidwar asked for the snap. Looked like he didn't get it when he expected to, and everyone else was moving already. It's not motion when everybody's moving.
1st and 15.
If everybody's moving, nobody's moving, right? Something like that. That's more of a existential question than a football analysis. Here we go. 1st and 15. Ball needs to get to the 31 for a first down. Sidwar with good protection. Checks it down to Jimmy Mahoney. Mahoney gets to the outside. Gets back inside the original sticks. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Jack Schuster on the tackle there for Malvern Prep. As we take a look through the Malvern Prep defense, up front, Joe Sukcher, Naeem Hammond, George Parkinson, and Jackson Ford. That's a formidable front four. They'll play an 8-man box. Dan Riley, Will Simmons, Joe Rosano, and Max Mooring, who's a Kentucky commit. And then Schuster, who made the tackle. Trey Gibson, a senior Fordham commit. And Stevie Smith, a big-time wrestler who will play safety. Single high looks almost all night we would expect for Malvern Prep. Sidwar fakes once and now drops it down to Owen Johnson, who just gets downhill, close to the line to gain, run out of bounds by Trey Gibson.
Hey, the dinking and dunking is working right now. That's 2 8-yard gains in a row.
And that's the second time we've seen Owen Johnson come out of the backfield. They did have that penalty on the one, but
he's really easy to see with the green mouthpiece and green gloves out there.
You better be good. I don't get away with wearing that type of stuff. Let's put it that way. He does.
Let's make some noise, Friars!
Although, Bob, if you wore green for cornhole, I mean, maybe.
Oh, boy. We'll get there. Thank you, Jack. Absolutely. We had quite the day on the beach. 3rd down and 1. A big play early on. Nelson hit in the backfield, and he's not going to get there. The front four steps up for Malvern Prep.
And you just can't help but think about Malvern Prep going for that punt on 4th and 1 because they had so much confidence in their defense, and their defense shows up when it matters there.
Max Mooring, the outside linebacker, makes a huge play. Whoa. And for now, LaSalle stays on the field. Gavin Sidwar does have the ability to punt the football. It gives LaSalle all the opportunity they need to evaluate the look. But he's going to go under center. Tough to punt from there. Will they make a statement? Will they do a hard count? Play clock running here. And LaSalle calls the timeout. Still gives themselves, Jack Burns, the opportunity to go for it if they'd like, but actually here comes the special teams unit. First half timeouts are different than second half timeouts, no doubt about it, but you feel like that 5 yards matters to Brett Gordon there, calling a timeout rather than taking the yardage at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. You can tell that this is a battle of field position. You know, you don't want to give the other team an easy out here. You know, it's way too risky this early on. Just kind of respect for your opponent from both sides.
Back to punt for the Explorers, Chris Heck. Returning for your Friars, Stephen Smith.
Here's Stephen Smith, the junior. 4-5 in the 40 for Stephen Smith. First start for the Malvern Prep Friars. Also a terrific wrestler, as we mentioned at the jump. Jackson Ford on the edge, but they really feigned that rush. And Heck, high, end over end. Good-looking punt. It's received there by Smith, and he's taken down immediately. How about Chima Auguste in his second start as a LaSalle Explorer, making a play on special teams?
Man, that's how you get noticed, man. Auguste bursting through that block. He hit him. It was a bang-bang play right there.
All right, back onto the offensive side, Malvern Prep. We didn't really get to take a look at the LaSalle defense, so let's do that now. A lot of times they'll play a 3-man front. Caleb Davidson, the sophomore, at 6'3", 276. Jamel Williams at 6'2", 275, the nose guard. And Ryan Fandozzi back for his second year at the position at defensive end. Dan Riley comes alongside the quarterback Melkonian, and a quick throw and catch. That's well done by Jack Schuster. That might have been tipped at the line. But he makes the play.
Nick Neri was there on the edge there, showing blitz, and then he Looked like he got a foul on it.
That is Nick Neary, of course, the basketball star for LaSalle as well. Put on 25 pounds of muscle. He is a big boy now playing that outside linebacker position. Along with Cooper Halig, Zyke Scott, and Keenan Stahl in the linebacking core. Lucas Johnson, Trey Hopkins, Chima Auguste in the secondary. Big time run there by Bates. Again, gets it close to the line to gain. Joey O'Brien, the other safety, playing center field at that free safety spot.
One thing I've noticed, Bob, is Trey Hopkins seems to be following Cade Cooper on both sides of the field, so it should be interesting to see how they match up throughout the game.
Cooper is a guy that Penn State and others are keeping a really close eye on. Of course, they know this Malvern Prep program very well. Not that long ago, recruited Lonnie White to play football at Penn State, and up deciding to play his career professionally as a baseball player and still in the minor league system. 3rd and 2. Hand off to Riley. Riley is hit, held up, and then on that second effort, he's got it. 5-yard gain.
That was almost a mirror play of what I thought happened to Azir Nelson, where he was hit behind the line of scrimmage, but that second effort was a really impressive showing of teamwork there to get the first down.
First down and 10 from the LaSalle 47.
Territory, 1st and 10.
Johnson on the outside against Jackson Ford. Yet to have a reception here today. This is handed off in space. Schuster, fast man. He is terrific. Getting to the edge and a gain of 5.
Yeah, I like that play design there. Put him in motion and ran towards, the big guns on the far side of the field there for a really nice gain. That looks like 6 or 7.
Line to gain is about the 37-yard line.
Picks up 6 yards. 2nd and 4.
Scoreless first quarter, 4:34 to go, and there's the handoff inside. LaSalle's going to come up with the stop. Williams had a hand in there, as did Keenan Stahl, as did Nick Neary. The cavalcade of defenders wraps them up. 3rd down, again, short yardage to go.
You got to admit, this time is likely 4-down territory as they're just past the Explorers' 40-yard line.
3rd and about 2.
They got the fullback in there as well. Malvern Prep with the big bodies. Here's the handoff. Again, going to be close. And I think 4-down territory, even if Bates comes up a half-yard short, which I think he is.
And this, when it's this early in the season, you got to be disciplined. You got to expect them to have a hard count here.
4th
Julius Riddick, the fullback. 5'9", 190, built like a house, benches 315, squats 550, and runs a 4.5 40. That's a young sophomore that a lot of people are going to have interest in. He's going to lead the way here. Bates pulled down. Did the ball come loose? LaSalle thinks they have it, or at minimum that it's going the other way.
That's a close call, man.
No call yet. Get another look on our replay. And they're signaling first down. By a nose of the football, Malvern Prep keeps the drive rolling.
And Brett Gordon is not happy with that. He thought he was down about maybe a quarter of a yard from the line to gain.
So far in this first quarter, the run game has been key for both sides.
1st down, Friars.
In short yardage situations. We saw that a lot last year in this game as well. Melkonian. Stahl is after him, and Stahl brings him down. Brian Johnson, the flag comes down at his feet. I believe that's going to be a hold that LaSalle will decline.
just huge pressure there right from the beginning. Didn't give Melkonian much time at all. He maybe had a second and a half to get that out.
Yeah, but it's actually the running back Zeke Bates as you get a great look on that replay. Johnson was tied up with the nose guard Jamel Williams. But the holding call should come on Bates, and now it's decision time for LaSalle. The official in the white hat looking at Brett Gordon dressed in the all-white, and that's his decision as to whether to accept that yardage and give them that first down back or not. And they will take the yardage. First down and 20.
I like that call. The Friars haven't had any big plays yet. You know, they're chunking away these 5-6 yard runs, and it's working, but they need to do a little more here.
LaSalle shows pressure. Neary drops into coverage. Melkonian, that's a high ball, and it's caught. Joey O'Brien takes out Jack Schuster. Not before the first of those big plays, Tyler. They get back well inside the sticks.
Yeah, Friars heard me up here. That's a big play there, and leaving 2nd and 4. So that opens up the playbook. This is certainly 4-down territory.
The line for Malvern Prep protecting Jackson Melkonian. Bryce Willie, the senior at left tackle. Bucknell commits. Dave Guerrero said if he's 2 inches taller, he's going to Penn State or another Power 4 school. And they're going to go that way. Running right behind that tackle. Zeke Bates makes Joey O'Brien miss. And Zeke Bates is in for 6. Malvern Prep on the board first.
And this game, that sums up what this game's going to look like. That was a physical run by Bates. You can see how strong he is. And he just explodes through that line, breaks a tackle on Joey O'Brien, and takes it to the house.
And before those 2 plays, the biggest play of the game was the first play on the return. But those last 2 plays, first the long pass and then the run for the touchdown.
That's Ian Gopez to make it a 7-point game. This portion of today's game brought to you by Riley Rakowski and Malloy Funeral Home, an enthusiastic supporter of LaSalle football. Andrew Buda Rakowski from the class of 1998 sends his best to Brett Gordon, the players, and the program as a whole. We appreciate their sponsorship of Bob Long Sports. And the Great American Pub. I hear it's on the TV at the pub here tonight, so I hope so. Thanks to Chuck Hempshire and his staff for all they do for us. Great family business, and we appreciate their sponsorship of Bob Long Sports. If you're looking to find your way to the Great American Pub, head on down there, tell them Bob Long Sports sent you, whether before, during, or after the game, with 3 locations near you. Drive stats, 9 plays, 58 yards. Bates toted the rock 5 times for 39 yards en route to that touchdown run.
Bates is just that kind of back that's just going to wear you down as this game goes on. So this offense in LaSalle really needs to get some time of possession here.
Jimmy Mahoney with a lot of speed. Jimmy Mahoney with a burst. And Jimmy Mahoney. How's that for an answer?
Well, they didn't get the time of possession I mentioned, but they got the points. What an incredible return by Mahoney there. He had incredible vision.
And then how about the getaway speed? We're talking all about those track stars for Malvern Prep and the guys that can run a 4.5 40. Jimmy Mahoney is a track star for LaSalle, and he showed it there.
On those 2 long plays for Malvern Prep, Bob, it felt very quick. It seemed like a sudden strike, and then Jimmy Mahoney just answers back probably 3 times the speed of Malvern Prep's score.
Make it 3 big plays in a row.
7 apiece. What a game so far here.
Well, I hope the defense had a nice, restful 30 seconds because they're back out there again.
This portion of today's contest brought to you by Bala Dermatology and our buddy Dr. Mary Griffin. Any type of dermatological needs that you have, Boy, after our day in the sun today, playing cornhole, which we'll get to, of course, might want to go see Dr. Mary Griffin. Hey, listen, it's been a long summer. Hopefully you've spent some great time outside with your family. Wear sunscreen first and foremost, but you should be getting those annual checkups on your skin. And you can go to balladdermatology.com to schedule your time with our friend, Dr. Mary Griffin. We appreciate her sponsorship.
Number 5, Trey Gibson.
Trey Gibson back deep to receive, as well as Dan Riley. Chris Heck will kick this one away. That one backs Riley up into the end zone, and that's an automatic touchback at the high school level. A little bit of wind aided, but a big boot from Chris Heck. And out to the 20 comes the Malvern Prep offense.
Heck's always been a fun player to follow. He, had a really nice year last year. That first St. Joe's Prep game comes to mind where he was, he had ice in his veins. So it looks like he's been hitting the weight room this offseason because that was a boot, wind or not.
Melkonian back on the field. And they'll go up the middle again. And this time the front three of LaSalle, with aiding from those linebackers, comes in to make the play. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, I think this front three is going to really have to step up here. We mentioned the power of these Malvern Prep backs. So got to fight power with power. If he gets to the second level, there's a big chance for some breakaway speed.
And it's been mostly Zeke Bates here today. We will see Riley. We will see Julius Riddick. But what Dave Guerrero is really excited about is the fact that Zeke Bates can be the bell cow this year. That's flipped out wide. Is that still a live ball? I haven't heard a whistle, and only now do we hear that whistle. Let's see if we can get a look on our replay as to whether that was a lateral. That's 100% a lateral from about the 16-yard line. And it did look like it went backwards. So a good recovery, or perhaps it scooted out of bounds from Malvern Prep. I think slowing down that replay tells you everything you need to know.
Malvern Prep, if you're Malvern Prep here, no compound mistakes. You're back down to your end zone here. Maybe just take a small run, see if you can get some yardage with it, get some room for the punt. Cannot afford a turnover here.
Line to gain is the 30. 3 wide on the wide side of the field. Melkonian jumps to pass it. Makes one miss, and Zeke Bates is wrapped up. How's that shortstop hop throw there, Derek Jeter style? Melkonian will show you every once in a while that he is a spectacular baseball player.
Got some much-needed breathing room here for this punt.
So far, special teams has played a big role in the game. We saw LaSalle have a nice stop on their own punt earlier, where Malvern Prep gained no yardage, that big kick return, and we'll see what happens here.
Dave Guerrero told us that Ian Gopez very good at kicking both field goals and punting, but that the punting is where the quality shines through, and that is the primary focus of his recruitment to UConn. Owen Johnson back deep to receive. Jimmy Mahoney saying, what do I got to do to go back and field some punts? He took the kick back, but Owen Johnson's got that same type of lightning quickness, Tyler. Very impressive young man.
Yeah, if he wants to return punts, Jimmy Mahoney can just keep doing that on kickoff returns.
Low snap. Gopez comes up with it and gets the punt away. What a job by Ian Gopez. Now Owen Johnson gets to the edge. Owen Johnson is taken down. Big time play by number 58, Matt Crawford.
I mean, that's a great job by Gopez getting out of there and getting that punt off. That's almost a touchdown, if not a safety.
Think back to that one as this game continues to develop, as we expect a very close contest. Plays like that can swing the tides, and LaSalle had every opportunity to wrap up Gopez. Gopez does a great job getting it away.
On that first punt, too, they were a couple inches from blocking Gopez as well, so definitely something to look at.
Zyke Scott, true linebacker, comes in at fullback. Had to be moved in the backfield. And now Sidwar takes a shot. One-on-one towards O'Brien. Touchdown.
Touchdown, number 6.
And you feel like Joey O'Brien can be that open just about every play.
I mean, that was really tight coverage. Joey O'Brien got a second of separation there at the end, looked up into the sun, and, you know, you can see that these guys have been playing with each other for 4 years now.
And that's what I meant there, Tyler, right? Clearly, not very open, really good coverage. That time on the outside by Malvern Prep. Trey Gibson was step for step. But at some point, 6'5", and that athleticism, that wingspan, just give him a shot in coverage, and he brought it down.
Kick is good. The Salle on top, 14-7 with 26 seconds.
It felt like the first quarter was going so quick, and all of a sudden there's been all these huge plays, and it's still 26 seconds left. I think this is the game we were expecting.
Yeah, it rarely has been a shootout, though, because of how terrific both of these teams are defensively. But with Sidwar, with O'Brien, and with Bates and Melkonian on the other side, along with Cade Cooper, expect some fireworks.
I mean, we didn't really say it, but great throw by Sidwar as well. I mean, he just does a flick of the wrist, and that thing is 50 yards downfield.
The pocket was also pretty wide open there. Grayson and the whole O-line did a great job of keeping Malvern Prep contained.
And I don't know that we ran through that offensive line for LaSalle. Going from left to right, Grayson McHugh, Chris Berneski. Didn't play a ton last year, certainly in the starting role. Going to do great things at left guard. Jacob Jackson at the center position. Andrew Sorge at right guard. And Danny Lawyer with some PSAC offers. Sorge looking at the FCS, Ivy League, etc. on the right side of that line. Terrific line for LaSalle. Felt like it was an area to improve after last year, Tyler. And they learned some things from Pittsburgh as well, as Central Catholic had a very talented defensive line with multiple Power 4 guys on it.
That's why you schedule these games early on in the season. You get that experience for, you know, maybe some of your newer guys, and they look pretty darn good so far.
And they're going to run the double inside reverse there. That's nice from Malvern Prep. Where's Southern Columbia when you need them? Dave Guerrera calling up Jim Roth.
Picks up 5.
That is a...
And 5.
And in the final seconds here of this first quarter, they will not take a snap.
Of the first quarter.
And we'll take the break with them. 14-7. Great contest through 12 minutes.
More people are choosing Faulkner Infiniti of Willow Grove for the outstanding customer service and the extraordinary selection of Infiniti vehicles. Like the all-new 2025 QX80, it's unlike any luxury SUV you've ever experienced. With an all-new design and groundbreaking technology, the Infiniti QX80 has set a new standard in its class. Come experience the QX80 and the entire Infiniti lineup at Faulkner Infiniti of Willow Grove. To be sure.
Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Meet David and Kay-May, a dynamic team with a shared mission to help you turn your real estate dreams into reality. What sets them apart? Their wealth of experience, combined with a genuine passion for guiding clients every step of the way. They believe everyone deserves personalized attention, fair treatment, and expert advice throughout the process, ensuring your journey is smooth and successful. David and Kay-May go above and beyond to meet your needs, ensuring expectations.
Second quarter about to get underway. First quarter stats, Malvern 70 yards. LaSalle with 61. Here's Melkonian taking a shot. He's got a man deep. That's Cade Cooper inside the 35.
Number 3 on the
just feels like answer after answer from both sides here.
Big play there for Malvern Prep. Additional stats from the first quarter. Bates with 6 carries, 40 yards, and a touchdown. Gavin Sidwar, 3 for 3 for 49 yards and that touchdown throw. 16 plays for Malvern Prep, make it 17 on that one, to just 6 offensive plays for LaSalle. Melkonian with lots of time. Davidson trying to work his way off a block. It's a big time throw for Riley. Touchdown.
And Neary was there in the coverage, and he looked back, and it slowed him down just a little bit. And what an answer from the Friars.
Jack McGuire, I know you're a huge baseball guy. How about that shortstop throw from Jackson Melkonian?
Go ahead, attempting the extra point. The kick is good. Just like that, 2 plays down the field. Tie game, 14-14.
14 apiece. $11:28 to go in this one, and what a view. The Ferris wheel here from Ocean City, New Jersey, right behind us here at Ocean City High School. I don't know if I want to be at the top of that right now, Tyler, but I think if I did, I would have a great vantage point to this football game here. And you know what? It might be the only way to watch the game, because as of 10 o'clock this morning, this game was sold out. So a $3 Ferris wheel ticket gets you to the top and gets you the best seat in the house. What do you think? Jack Burns, you going up to the top of that Ferris wheel there?
Well, it'd definitely be an experience. It might be a little rough, but you know, if I can be able to watch such an amazing game as this, could be worth it.
That's right. That, or find a way to rent one of those houses right behind the LaSalle section. Owen Johnson inside the 50. And the special teams are stepping up for LaSalle High School here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, great special team so far from both sides, but the Explorers shining on these returns. I really liked Owen Johnson's patience there. He had a great grab there. The kick was a bit short, and he let his blocks develop. And then he shot out that sideline. I thought he was going for 6.
1st and 10 from the 40-yard line.
Yeah, Johnson's really quick, but he can also cut really quick. He doesn't stop moving.
I think it's the neon green gloves. They make him look quicker. Or they make him actually faster.
Right. PF Flyers. Right out of the sandlot. Scientifically proven to make a kid run faster and jump higher. Azir Nelson running through guys. He finishes runs as well as any running back I've seen in a while. Gain of 4. The key for Brett Gordon and this offensive unit is to find more ways for Nelson to get to the second level before contact. What he did in Pittsburgh was basically get hit around the line of scrimmage and then fall forward, which is very impressive. You get that young man some blocking, and he will be off to the races.
Joey O'Brien on the sideline right now, catching a breather.
Ford shows pressure. They're going to give it to Nelson. Nelson is ripped down at the 33-yard line, gain of 3.
Will Simmons.
I feel like when, this game used to happen, this was always a battle, a very physical battle, but now they have the talent on both sides, the Friars and the Explorers, to take these deep shots as well. It's really dynamic.
4 down territory for LaSalle. LaSalle in the white, Malvern Prep in the navy blue. Sidwar pressured and takes off with it, takes a huge hit. And he is close to the line to gain. I think he has it, and a flag comes in late. One more look. Gavin Sidwar uses his legs to create a first down for now.
We don't see that much from Sidwar, and I'm sure Brett Gordon's wincing, but I would say it's worth it for the first down.
Yeah, you definitely don't want your quarterback to be running out like that.
So that's after the play, the way I see it here in the booth. So they should have spotted that football and then walked off the yardage, but I don't think that's what's happening. And I don't understand it.
Yeah, that does not make – they did switch to a first down.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
so then they handled it correctly, just a little slow on the chains.
Might have got lost there, but Jackson Ford lifted Grayson McHugh into the air and put him on his back on that play. That was an insane display of strength.
That's Penn State against Notre Dame right there. So they got that right. That's a post-play penalty. The yardage was accumulated for the first down.
After the post-play penalty, still remains first down for the Explorers.
Line to gain is the 35. Mahoney does a great job getting off the line of scrimmage. Now Nelson gets to the second level and got 6.
2nd and 4 in Friars territory. I wouldn't be surprised to see a shot here. Get Nelson moving a bit. Sorry.
By the way, beg your pardon. Go right ahead. Yep.
Yeah, we saw it last game with the 30-yard touchdown to Owen Johnson, and then kind of in the same territory with that big pass to O'Brien. I agree. I think they could take a shot here.
We do want to welcome our college fans as well. Notre Dame, Penn State, Temple for JP Oates. A lot of college fans watching these young men. There's Sidwar over the middle, and there's the Temple commit, JP Oates. His first catch of the night inside the 15.
He's in the middle, still getting tackled, and still points for the first down.
Number 5, Trey Gibson on the tackle. That reception is good for an Explorer first down.
Maybe not the shot we had in mind, but a great, slant up the middle there.
Nice call there, Tyler and Patrick.
Thank you. Make sure you call out our bad calls as well, though.
Sidwar, way to sit down in coverage there, reaches for the end zone, and there's your call, touchdown. So 2 quick catches for JP Oates. Or was that O'Brien making the play?
I thought that was O'Brien.
Yeah, the black arm sleeve.
There it is. Yes, that's O'Brien, number 6. That's his 2nd touchdown of the night.
And O'Brien just has this intuition. He was about to get wrecked there. There was no way he was getting the touchdown. And he kind of lunged sideways a little bit to avoid the big hit for 6.
(21-14). Officially entering shootout territory, Tyler.
Yeah, what did I say in the pregame? Expecting a shootout. This is usually a rivalry that is pretty defensively heavy, so kind of exciting to watch. Fun to watch a shootout always. And man, Sidwar was pumped on that throw. He was fist pumping both hands. He's pumped. You could tell he's dialed in.
This portion of today's game brought to you by E&M Insurance, property and casualty insurance firm. This firm is servicing businesses and individuals. You can find them online at eandminsurance.com. Call 215-368-9556 for more. Chris Marr, class of 1989 for LaSalle, has run the organization for many years, also a past alumni board president. And also Jake Timby, who we had the distinct pleasure to defeat twice in cornhole today, Tyler. I apologize, Jake, had to do it, but is a distinguished agent that you can work with at E&M Insurance. We appreciate their sponsorship. So I think it's time to talk about cornhole. We've mentioned it 3 times now. Tyler and I entered Ryan Ansel and the basketball program's cornhole tournament that was taking place on the beach from 12:30 to 3:30. Tyler, 25 minutes late for the start time. Thankfully, our first round match was delayed until that point, and all we did was run through this thing and win it.
Oh, yeah.
Can you believe that? Beat a bunch of high school students who should be sharper at this than we are. I just have to say.
Picking on high school kids, that's what we do.
I know. Sorry about that. Now Zeke Bates goes into the Wildcat. Wildcat all the way past the line to gain off the left tackle for a first down.
To be fair, there was alumni there, too. It wasn't just like we were the only adults.
We have to paint the right picture here, no doubt about it. Hey, a quick look at last drive, by the way. 6 plays, 40 yards. 2 minutes and 50 seconds came off the clock. A 12-yard touchdown pass from Gavin Sidwar to Joey O'Brien. Sidwar's touchdown pass to O'Brien was O'Brien's second catch of the variety on the evening. There's that inside reverse again, and Riley has the first down. Riding him to the ground for LaSalle, but not before a gain of 15 yards with Aiden Christie, the sophomore defensive back.
I think the Friars' biggest, strength tonight are these outside runs. Like, granted, there was the reverse there, but even just bouncing into the outside, they've made huge plays all night. I would be attacking that edge in the running game.
First down and 10 from the 43-yard line. Melkonian barking out the signals. Just too wide on the wide side of the field. Riley goes that way. What a seal from Bates, and what a move from Riley.
Again, just bouncing to the outside. What did I say? It's where this Explorers defense weakness is right now. I would keep attacking that until they can't stop it.
On that replay there, what a play call by Dave Guerrera. It was Bates in the backfield and Riley lining up at halfback. Snapped the ball. It's actually Bates that serves as the fullback, sets the edge. It was a great block, and Riley coming across. Good execution, better play call.
So what you're saying is Bates makes a mean fullback as well.
He does. Big boy. Timeout called, and we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
More people are choosing Faulkner Infiniti of Willow Grove for the outstanding customer service and the extraordinary selection of Infiniti vehicles. Like the all-new 2025 QX80, it's unlike any luxury SUV you've ever experienced. With an all-new design and groundbreaking technology, the Infiniti QX80 has set a new standard in its class. Come experience the QX80 and the entire Infiniti lineup at Faulkner Infiniti of Willow Grove, to be sure.
Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Meet David and Kay May, a dynamic team with a shared mission to help you turn your real estate dreams into reality. What sets them apart? Their wealth of experience, combined with a genuine passion for guiding clients every step of the way. They believe everyone deserves personalized attention, fair treatment, and expert advice throughout the process, ensuring your journey is smooth and successful. David and Kay may go above and beyond to meet your needs, ensuring expectations are not just met, but exceeded. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer or a seasoned investor, their personalized approach and commitment to service make every real estate journey smooth and rewarding. Contact them today to get started on your next real estate adventure.
We apologize, had some camera trouble, and sorry to miss this one, but Jackson Melkonian threw a touchdown pass along the far side pylon for the touchdown. And it's 21 apiece. But we should be back and okay going forward. Apologize for that one.
And Bob, talking about technical difficulties, last time you asked me about Malvern's last drive. I couldn't hear you, but my thoughts about the quarterback's throw, I thought that the offensive line for Malvern gave him a lot of time to go out of the pocket, rolling to his left, and making a great throw for the touchdown.
.6:39 to play, second quarter, 21 apiece.
I think this already cleared the over for this game.
Tyler needs you on that. Oh, we're good. Here comes Jimmy Mahoney. He's already taken one to the house, and flags come in everywhere. In the area of holding, that'll back LaSalle way up.
Number 40, Sam Coupon.
Keith. We're back here. After the holding penalty, it brings LaSalle back inside their own 10-yard line.
And I would say that's the first Explorers special team mistake of the day.
Backed up to their own.
And that last drive by Malvern, those stats, it lasted 4 plays. They gained 72 yards, and it took 1:59 off the clock. Jackson Melconian to Dylan Novak for the 16-yard touchdown.
Sidwar just flicks it with the arms, and I thought there was early contact, and the flags stay in the pocket.
Yeah, I'm interested to see that replay there. It looked like he was, maybe it was bang bang there.
Yeah, it looked a little early, but letting him play.
Yeah, maybe in slow-mo.
Pass was intended for number 2, J.P. Oates.
Whistles all over the field. And a timeout on the field, at least for the time being. Brett Gordon, less than thrilled. He is yelling at those officials, asking for a pass interference call.
Can I say that was a great pass, but also an incredibly risky pass? That was like quadruple coverage there.
Yep. Dropped it in the bucket.
Tyler, I was just going to say, it looked like 4 people were right there.
Oh, and looks like a flag on Brett Gordon, maybe? Oh, no.
It's a sideline warning against LaSalle. Unless there was one called before that I didn't see, this should not result in yardage. But we'll wait to see whether the officials walk anything off.
I would have to think that is on Brett Gordon.
But again, you get one. And that's why they're not walking anything off. So the next one, like that, would result in penalty yardage against LaSalle. 6:26 to go, second quarter. Danny Lawyer pointing out that you have Jackson Ford and a linebacker looking to bring the heat. Now they back off. Nelson up the middle and finishes the run out to the 16. Gain of 6.
Yeah, that kind of worked with them backing off there for the Explorers. Kind of had them on their heels. Well, Azir Nelson went right up the middle there for a nice gain.
J.P. Oates had a really nice block against Will Simmons, the interior linebacker.
3rd and 4, make some noise.
And I don't know if there's been a stop since the first quarter. Maybe it was the first 3 times there was a stop, but you know, you got to think you got to get the first down here. This defense is not doing anything.
The offenses have certainly controlled the second quarter. As Sidwar stands in, fires, coming back to the football, Chima Agist. Very, very little acknowledgement from the officials, but they are now moving the sticks.
It was a great diving catch there. But yeah, it was kind of weird. It felt like the Twilight Zone there. Like he caught the ball and there was
waiting for a call.
Yeah.
Looked like he got the hands under it from what we could tell. Couple of drops for Auguste in the first game of the season. Great to see him make a contested catch. Sidwar fakes the give and throws it out wide for J.P. Oates. Oates is being chased down. That's a loss of 4.
Really well sniffed out by the Friars defense there.
Dylan Novak, the 6'4", 190-pound defensive end.
Tell that's how the play was designed, but I saw Sidwar look to his left. He had Owen Wilson open deep. I thought that's where he was going.
Novak, who caught the touchdown pass on the last drive, quite an interesting story. Notre Dame lacrosse commit. He's always wanted to go to Notre Dame. But when Bill Belichick was on campus last year scouting Jake Bauer, who's now a freshman at North Carolina, they're like, who's this Dylan Novak young man? And he actually got an offer to North Carolina to play football. But Notre Dame has always been the dream, and so he's going to go play lacrosse for the Irish. And that's Novak again with pressure on Gavin Sidwar. Boy, it's about time maybe for Marcus Freeman to call up Dylan Novak, and I think he'll listen at that point.
Just incredible pressure across the line. I was focused on Ford there, but Novak getting the pressure, making Sidwar throw that one away. Looks like they were looking for intentional grounding, but he was out of the pocket, and I think he got to the original line of scrimmage.
Third down, the line to gain is all the way out to the 44-yard line. Plenty of time left in this second quarter for Malvern Prep if they can get off the field here.
This would be a huge stop for the Friars.
Boy, and if it feels that way at home, I can tell you Hell's Bells is loud in our ears right now. Nelson comes up well short of the first down. The delay give.
Of the first down, tackle made by.
And Malvern Prep, an opportunity to get that offense back onto the field.
Definitely an interesting call there. The delayed give on 3rd and 14.
Returning.
Joe Rosano made that stop, a young man who played behind Jake Bauer and Ben Kumpon, UNC and Towson respectively. Bunch of Division I players in that front seven last year, and talented guys that were just waiting their turn to get the opportunity to play. That one was nearly blocked. It's a really good punt by Heck. And Jackson Melconian will start at the 30. Take a look at this Malvern Prep team. Have had a great run of success, 5 of 7 Interact titles. They always start with a strong non-league schedule, including last year they beat Gonzaga. They beat Del Barton, which is one of the great stories you'll ever hear. They were down 17-0 with 7 minutes left. Del Barton went for it on 4th down from their own 30-yard line up 17. And then all of a sudden didn't get that. Malvern Prep goes down and scores. They get kicked, an onside kick in the rain. Get that. Pellicciata with a 4th and 10 catch. Then they score again. Force a 3-and-out from Del Barton. Punt. 1-play touchdown bomb, 20-17. And all of a sudden, Del Barton turns it over on downs, and Pellicciata runs it in for the touchdown, all in 7 minutes to win 27-17. It's a big moment for that team. Pellicciata is off to the next level, but Zeke Bates keeps the train moving with a first down for Malvern Prep.
Do you think that involved like a heck of a pep talk? That
I think so. I think so. Dave Guerrero, though, of course, too modest to say so.
Yeah. I kid, of course. It's obviously the culture instilled in these kids, but just, that's incredible.
So Malvern Prep, looking to go down and score, but also wants to manage the clock. Well, Salle showing a ton of pressure up the middle. First down and 10 for Malvern, and they bring that pressure. Malconian sets up the screen. And LaSalle does a nice job with guys coming up from the secondary to make the play. Little slow to get up on the play is Chima Auguste, who ended up making the play.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit dangerous to the Explorers, bringing that great call on the screen pass.
Injured player on the field will take the timeout with them.
Show you a better way to spend your state income taxes and get the money to where it's needed the most to the thousands of qualified kids.
What we like about Blocks is they really know where the need is.
This program ensures that their dollars come 100% into these kids for their tuition assistance.
If you are able, Blocks makes the EITC piece go very quickly and very smoothly.
Turn your PA State tax liability into need-based scholarships and receive a 90% tax credit.
Dunphy Ford is made.
There's the handoff to Riley. He's had a nice night so far, taken down after a gain of 2. Strung out well by Zyke Scott, the linebacker for LaSalle.
Yeah, great job by Fandozzi there, setting the edge. You could tell they were trying to get outside, but he wasn't giving it. Forced it back inside to all those gold helmets.
Looks like Kyrie Mitchell is on there on the LaSalle D-line.
So they're going to go 4 down linemen. Davidson, Mitchell, Fandozzi, and Jamel Williams then up the middle. Big third down, line to gain is the 49. Bates is hit by Stahl, keeps the legs moving, and Davidson rode him down, but not before a gain of 3. Make it 4 and a first down.
You have to imagine the Explorers likely aren't getting the ball back, at least with a meaningful amount of time this half.
You know, the Phil Collins, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. I can feel the copyright strikes coming in the air tonight. That's some loud music. First down and 10 for Malvern Prep. Malconian, what a throw. Hit him in the hands and dropped it. That was Schuster. Mahoney in the area. Lucas Johnson in the area defensively. LaSalle got defenders into the area and made that a difficult catch.
Schuster looking directly into the sun right now as well, which I think is going to look pretty nice on that Ferris wheel when we cut to that, the half.
Bob, what I've noticed is Sidwar and Malconian, who are both righty quarterbacks, Sidwar likes to roll out to his right, which is honestly quite normal, but then Malconian likes to roll out to his left and have a weird angle.
But he's got the arm strength for it, that's for sure. Second down and 10. LaSalle brings the pressure. Malconian running out of time. Jumps to throw it. And there is no flag. Malvern fans will say that's interference. LaSalle fans will say perhaps the legs got tied up. I think there was a little bit of a shove in the back. And now both sides have harangued at a few calls. Brett Gordon has gotten his licks, and Dave Guerrero, you can't really blame him for not liking that call.
Nice pressure there from LaSalle, though. Zyke Scott came right up the middle, and it looked like he didn't even get blocked.
Yeah, a lot of pressure. I was surprised he's even able to get that throw off.
A long stoppage here with 31 seconds left.
Resetting the clock, it looks like. A lot of
Turn up those mics. Make sure we can hear those folks a little more clearly.
Some nice pleasantries.
These Malvern fans are not loving that decisive call back there.
I appreciate their transparency.
Third and 10 after the
He was asking him if he was spending the remainder of the weekend down here at the lovely Jersey Shore.
Yeah, 3-day weekend.
3-day weekend. Third down. Melkonian throws it across the middle. Rub play for Riley. It's going to be close. All depends on the spot. Where are they going to put it down? If they have it down where that official is, that's a first down.
Yeah, I believe that was a first down.
And now they move those sticks. Got out of bounds with 37 seconds left.
And I am seeing a little more penetration from that Explorers defensive line. Something to look out for, that trench battle.
LaSalle brings the heat. Melkonian, he's going to be hit, and he's going to be dropped. Keenan Stahl got two hands on him, but that's a team sack there as LaSalle brings that pressure. Melkonian has nowhere to go.
Yeah, again, it's just like almost every play the Explorers are getting in the backfield. They finally get home there for a huge loss. Almost back to the 50-yard line.
Timeout was called to give Malvern Prep the opportunity to continue the drive, but it'll be second down and about 20.
Sportsmanship at all contests is an expectation.
This portion of today's game brought to you by E&M Insurance. E&M Insurance is a property and casualty insurance firm in North Wales, serving both corporations and individuals. Maybe you have a youthful age driver that is just time to get on the plan. I know that's not cheap, but Chris Marr, Jake Timby, and the entire E&M crew can help you find the best rates, of course, the proper coverage, and give you the #1 service. Visit them online at eandminsurance.com or call them at 215-368-9556. Second down, a long ways to go as Melkonian. Look at him use his legs. He's going to get all the way to the edge, make one miss, and get out of bounds. Jackson Melkonian. What a play. It's this move right here that really gets me. Little Chris Berman. Whoop, whoop.
LaSalle did a great job of getting that back line, but not able to secure that sack.
Yeah, great job getting back there, but not a great job of tackling.
Third and about 5.
That was a long play, though. I'll say that. It did run down the clock, so Friars are going to have to take a shot sooner or later.
Third down. Melkonian looking towards the sideline. Now comes across the middle, and it's incomplete. Good defense by Lucas Johnson. That would have been a tough catch for a defensive end turned wide receiver, Jackson Ford.
Yeah, just a huge height discrepancy there, too. Lucas Johnson, I thought was a little early, but did a good job. He had the hand around Ford, but didn't twist him.
Jackson Ford was the intended receiver.
Could have been called.
Fourth down.
I know Ian Gopez has a big leg. I don't know how far up the field they would have to get in his range, but we'll see if they want to try to kick it with him.
We spoke with Dave Guerrera prior to the game, and he felt pretty good from 23 and in. When I say 23, a 40-yard field goal from the 23-yard line and in. This is the 34. That's a 51-yarder. It is I get this wrong every year. I should really study up. Land breeze, sea breeze, somebody help me. It's where the time of day where the wind is blowing towards the ocean, which is the direction that Ian Gopez would be kicking.
I mean, that would be sick if they went for it, but
they're probably looking to get that first down, and wherever that first down takes them, try to clock it.
Yeah.
They have one timeout remaining. and then give Gopez the shot. 21 apiece, 11 seconds left in this first half. Pressure off the edge. Melkonian makes one miss. Melkonian down to 5, down to 4. And there's no flag because the receiver was out of bounds. It was the hanky, not the flag. And it was the fact that Cade Cooper went out of bounds on his own, not shoved there by Lucas Johnson, and then would have been the first player to touch it had he done so. So no flag, turnover on downs. There's 1 second left in the half, and LaSalle will likely just take a knee.
Yeah, I mean, good call. Like you said, Bob, that was a great insight there. Went out on his own, wasn't shoved out, and wasn't able to reestablish himself in, so.
What a half. Great half of football. Stay tuned at halftime, by the way. We'll have the head coach of the LaSalle basketball team, Ryan Ansell, up here for a halftime interview. And we might even have a couple of the young men here broadcasting with us conduct that interview. 21 apiece. Jack Burns, a takeaway from the first 24 minutes of football.
I think a big takeaway for me would be the run game on both ends. I mean, you got a guy like Bates, and once he gets moving, it's hard to take him down. LaSalle's defense has been trying, but, it's hard for such a strong guy like that.
How about Pat Burkhead? What'd you take away from the first half?
I thought Gavin Sidwar played very well. He was hitting most of his targets, making smart decisions, and we even saw him use his legs, which we don't see often. So I thought he played a very good half.
And Jack McGuire.
I agree with both Pat and Jack. First with Pat, I think that Gavin Sidwar is being way more aggressive than we've seen in previous games and previous years. And then to Jack's point, I think that the run game is critical so far for both sides of the ball.
And my contribution is thanks to our buddy Werner. The main difference between a land breeze and a sea breeze lies in their timing and direction, which are determined by temperature differences between land and sea. Sea breezes, of course, occur during the day when land heats up faster than the sea, causing air to flow from the sea to the land. Land breezes occur at night, like now, for example, when the land cools down faster than the sea, causing the air to flow from the land to the sea, which makes sense because I always thought it was counterintuitive. When the breeze is going towards the sea, it's a land breeze. So now we figured that out. Ian Gopez, though, land or sea breeze, 51 was a little too far. LaSalle got the stop, and we remain tied at 21. Stay with us, folks, and we hope to have the head coach of LaSalle basketball, Ryan Ansell, on with us next.
Show you a better way to spend your state income taxes and get the money to where it's needed to most to the thousands of qualified kids.
What we like about Blocks is they really know where the need is.
This program ensures that their dollars come 100% into these kids for their tuition assistance.
If you are able, Blocks makes the EITC piece go very quickly and very smoothly.
Turn your PA State tax liability into need-based scholarships and receive a 90% tax credit.
Dunphy Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfort Avenue. Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfort Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
My name is Patrick Donahue, a franchise consultant with FranChoice, the premier network of franchise consultants in America. FranChoice is a company that helps people find a franchise business that's the perfect fit for them. We work with the people who want to own a business but don't really know how to find one that's both a top-notch opportunity and a great match. We specialize in franchise opportunities with the following 3 characteristics: low investment, high margin, and rapid break-evens. The best thing about our service is that it's free to the public. We're paid by franchise companies for this service. The process is simple. First, we do an introduction. Then the candidate provides me with information. We have a consultation based on that information, and we build what's called the model. Once we have that model, we'll share that with 3 great opportunities that match your criteria. I will follow up with you through the entire process. Obviously, the best opportunities fit the criteria mentioned above, and the right way to find those opportunities is to spend some time with the people who work with the very best franchise companies looking to expand in your local area. I'm humbled by your consideration, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
They said it couldn't be done, but somehow CCM was able to close this home in just 21 days. Carl, how'd you pull this off?
Oh, hard work, dedication, grinding.
Were you ever worried?
Well, you know, Chloe, they pinned us in deep in the second bedroom, inspection issues, but we regrouped. Knew there was still a lot in play.
Well, I'm sure the Franklins were pleasantly surprised.
We got a good organization here. A lot to look forward to.
Good luck with the next close. And there you have it. Cross Country Mortgages dedicated to getting it done.
So, it's time for your business to renew your lease. Or perhaps you're right-sizing or relocating. This can be an exciting time, but it's also a major project to undertake. Hundreds of decisions to make, some of which may impact your business for the next decade. You know you need an expert on your side from start to finish. What if this expert had no conflicts of interest, no landlords to answer to, and a fiduciary responsibility to work solely in your best interest? Someone who knows the questions to ask, the levers to pull, the pitfalls to avoid. Enter the experts at Gola Corporate Real Estate. They've seen it all over the course of thousands of transactions in dozens of industries. Gola gets it. And what if those experts came with a team? Subject matter experts to manage everything that comes with this process. Space planning and design, relocation planning and budgeting, helping you manage your vendors, construction oversight, all with zero out-of-pocket cost to you. A turnkey experience that adds real value, value that flows right to your bottom line. Gola gets it. We've been partnering with clients like you for over 40 years, and we know what's important: solving problems, creating flexibility, protecting and stretching your dollars. Philadelphia-based with a national presence. Get to know Gola. Gola gets it.
When your car needs repairs and you can't wait, Meineke can help. With life's crazy schedule between work and family, you'll love Meineke's same-day service. Call today and Meineke will get your car in today. For new brakes, exhaust repairs, or your check engine light comes on, trust Meineke to do the job right. And families have been coming to Meineke for years because Meineke works on any make or model vehicle. Same-day service, value, and trust. Meineke, doing car care right.
Be a part of the biggest live events. The must-see matches. The game day celebrations. Experience live sports and entertainment the way they're meant to be seen. With Joe Hand Promotions, the global leader of live entertainment for bars, restaurants, and cinemas. Create unforgettable moments that fans won't want to miss. Keep the food and drinks flowing with watch parties that will bring customers in the door and expand dwell time. And watch as these visitors turn into loyal customers with exclusive content relationships with the nation's largest sports and entertainment providers. In over 10,000 bars, restaurants, and cinemas across America, and customizable packages for every type of venue. Make your business the place for the next must-see event. Because if fans can't make it to the stadium or arena, your venue is the next best place.
Next Play Basketball is an AAU program in the greater Philadelphia area. They offer camps, clinics, and private training for boys and girls, 3rd to 11th graders. They teach the next play mentality to help athletes have success on and off the court. Next Play coaches focus on each player's development through high-level coaching and a competitive environment. If you would like to join the Next Play family, go to nextplaybasketball.com for more information. They are hosting spring tryouts on January 11th.
Welcome back. We're now here with Coach Ansel, the head coach of the LaSalle College High School basketball program. Coach, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. We had a great cornhole tournament with a 32-team bracket, which Bob Long came out victor. There's some questions whether that was staged or whatnot, but he threw the bags well, and hats off to him and his team.
And the whole time you guys were wondering what you guys would do if Bob won, because last year he gave an interview to the winners. Were you disappointed that we didn't see an interview today, or?
Yeah, like we pay him a good amount of money to show up as a celebrity appearance, and then he got too caught up in the game, and we did not have an interview for the champions since he couldn't interview himself.
Yeah, Coach, you have that cornhole event, and could you just kind of talk about the culture that we have at LaSalle and how those events add to it?
Yeah, so the culture, the brotherhood of LaSalle, and I think whether it was kids, their parents, alum, guys from the class of 87, 94, faculty members, administrators, basketball families, just everyone showing up to support. And again, part of the reason we do it this weekend is to try and get as many people to this game to support the LaSalle Explorers on the football field as well, including some basketball guys and multi-sport athletes. So it's a great weekend, great event, and another great game that we are getting to experience here, 21-21 and a half.
Yeah, the LaSalle Athletic is kind of like a family as a whole. They all kind of get along, all the teams, you know, in the hallway. Everyone just talks to each other. What kind of connection do you have with the football team, the coaches, the players, just anyone you know?
Yeah, I think what's special about LaSalle is the way everyone supports each other, and whether it's athletics, band, mock trial, there's something for everyone, and I think it's cool how everyone's pursuing greatness in whatever lane it is, and some people don't know when they get to LaSalle what path they're going to choose, but it's cool to get to be a part of a place where no matter what it is, there's support from all different angles, and again, getting to be here, watch these guys who've put in a lot of work in the weight room, on the field, get to have some success, and hopefully a big second half here.
Right. Coach, how are we feeling about this upcoming basketball season?
We're excited. The guys have been showing up, whether it's 5 a.m., after school. We've been getting in the weight room. We have a young core, so we're excited to see how they can develop and take on the challenge of competing at the highest level. But I'm excited with the amount of work they're putting in, the culture they're developing with one another. Again, getting to spend time. We were on the beach this morning at 8 a.m. doing push-ups, tug of war, all different conditioning, and then got to play some cornhole, and now here supporting our brothers on the football field. So just a great weekend, and we're excited about the season ahead.
Sounds great. Sounds like they're putting in work for a victory season and some great games coming up.
That's the goal, but takes getting better each day to get there.
Of course.
Well, thank you, Coach Ansel.
Thank you guys for having me, and good luck with the second half.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Coach.
Great work, guys.
Here to show you a better way to spend your state income taxes and get the money to where it's needed the most to the thousands of qualified kids.
What we like about Blocks is they really know where the need is.
This program ensures that their dollars come 100% into these kids for their tuition assistance.
If you are able, Blocks makes the EITC piece go very quickly and very smoothly.
Turn your PA state tax liability into need-based scholarships and receive a 90% tax credit.
Dunphy Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue, generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
My name is Patrick Donahue, a franchise consultant with FranChoice, the premier network of franchise consultants in America. FranChoice is a company that helps people find a franchise business that's the perfect fit for them. We work with the people who want to own a business but don't really know how to find one that's both a top-notch opportunity and a great match. We specialize in franchise opportunities with the following 3 characteristics: low investment, high margin, and rapid break-evens. The best thing about our service is that it's free to the public. We're paid by franchise companies for this service. The process is simple. First, we do an introduction. Then the candidate provides me with information. We have a consultation based on that information, and we build what's called the model. Once we have that model, we'll share that with 3 great opportunities that match your criteria. I will follow up with you through the entire process. Obviously, the best opportunities fit the criteria mentioned above, and the right way to find those opportunities is to spend some time with the people who work with the very best franchise companies looking to expand in your local area. I'm humbled by your consideration, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
They said it couldn't be done, but somehow CCM was able to close this home in just 21 days. Carl, how'd you pull this off?
Oh, hard work, dedication, grinding.
Were you ever worried?
Well, you know, Chloe, they pinned us in deep in the second bedroom, inspection issues, but we regrouped. Knew there was still a lot in play.
Well, I'm sure the Franklins were pleasantly surprised.
We got a good organization here. A lot to look forward to.
Good luck with the next close. And there you have it. Cross Country Mortgage is dedicated to getting it done.
So, it's time for your business to renew your lease. Or perhaps you're right-sizing or relocating. This can be an exciting time, but it's also a major project to undertake. Hundreds of decisions to make, some of which may impact your business for the next decade. You know you need an expert on your side from start to finish. What if this expert had no conflicts of interest, no landlords to answer to, and a fiduciary responsibility to work solely in your best interest? Someone who knows the questions to ask, the levers to pull, the pitfalls to avoid. Enter the experts at Gola Corporate Real Estate. They've seen it all over the course of thousands of transactions in dozens of industries. Gola gets it. And what if those experts came with a team? Subject matter experts to manage everything that comes with this process. Space planning and design, relocation planning and budgeting, helping you manage your vendors, construction oversight, all with zero out-of-pocket cost to you. A turnkey experience that adds real value that flows right to your bottom line. Gola gets it. We've been partnering with clients like you for over 40 years, and we know what's important: solving problems, creating flexibility, protecting and stretching your dollars. Philadelphia-based with a national presence. Get to know Gola. Gola gets it.
When your car needs repairs and you can't wait, Meineke can help. With life's crazy schedule between work and family, you'll love Meineke's same-day service. Call today and Meineke will get your car in today. For new brakes, exhaust repairs, or your check engine light comes on, trust Meineke to do the job right. And families have been coming to Meineke for years because Meineke works on any make or model vehicle. Same-day service, value, and trust. Meineke, doing car care right.
Be a part of the biggest live events. The must-see matches. The game day celebrations. Experience live sports and entertainment the way they're meant to be seen. With Joe Hand Promotions, the global leader of live entertainment for bars, restaurants, and cinemas. Create unforgettable moments that fans won't want to miss. Keep the food and drinks flowing with watch parties that will bring customers in the door and expand dwell time. And watch as these visitors turn into loyal customers with exclusive content relationships with the nation's largest sports and entertainment providers. In over 10,000 bars, restaurants, and cinemas across America, and customizable packages for every type of venue. Make your business the place for the next must-see event. Because if fans can't make it to the stadium or arena, your venue is the...
Let's get ready.
Welcome back, folks. Second half about to get underway here on Bob Long Sports. With halftime stats, let's send it to sophomore Jack McGuire.
First on the quarterback side for LaSalle, Gavin Sidwar is 7 for 9, 103 yards, and he's thrown 2 touchdowns. For Malvern Prep, Melkonian's 10 for 14, 2 touchdowns as well. Back to LaSalle for their running back. Xavier Nelson, 8 carries, 36 yards. Bates, 9 carries, 67 yards, touchdown. That's on Malvern's side now. And Riley also on Malvern's side, 5 carries, 58 yards. Back to LaSalle, wide receiver Joey O'Brien, 2 receptions, 47 yards, 2 touchdowns. Very efficient out of him. And on the Malvern Prep side, wide receiver Novak, 1 reception, 16 yards, 1 touchdown. And Riley, 3 receptions, 48 yards, also 1 touchdown.
Malvern Prep in the navy blue. LaSalle will receive in the white. This one maneuvered towards the sideline, caught on 1 hop. Jimmy Mahoney has already taken 1 back for a touchdown, and this kickoff returned to the 38.
That was a sick spin move by Mahoney there.
Time, by the way, to play everybody's favorite game, and that is Where You At? Let us know where you're watching the game from. You can do that by tweeting at us at Bob Long Sports. Let us know where you're watching the game from, and we'll give you a shout on the air. And we'll ask you just one favor if you would. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. Doesn't cost you anything, doesn't sign you up for anything. It just helps us. And then you'll be able to know when we're going live next for LaSalle action throughout the year. That's Owen Johnson with a quick pitch and catch. Close to the first down marker. He got 8, maybe 9, depending upon the spot. And Tyler, I like the quick pitch and catch to start the third quarter.
Yeah, and I got to go where you at. The guys at the food stand are streaming the game. They don't have the best view, I think, so they got Bob Long Sports on. They wanted to shout out.
Thanks to Keith Binsfeld, then, they do have the best angle.
50-yard line is pretty great.
Ozzie Nelson, the running back, alongside Gavin Sidwar, and he'll give it to Nelson, who goes off tackle and has the first down. Ran off the back of left tackle Grayson McHugh and left guard Chris Berneski.
And Bob, I have some more first half stats now team-wise. First for Malvern Prep, they have 138 rushing yards, 88 passing yards, and 226 total yards. And now for LaSalle, 36 rushing yards, 103 passing yards, and 139 total yards. Thank you to Bob McCartney and Shane Hurley-Moses for those stats.
Ball on the Malvern Prep 49-yard line. Sidwar with a good pocket. Fires over the middle. Joey O'Brien makes 1 miss, and he's inside the 20. Give him a gain of 33 on 1st and 10.
That bumps him up to 3 receptions for 80 yards. Joey O'Brien makes it look easy out there.
Quickly back up to the line. Chains aren't even set, and Ozzie Nelson's going off tackle. Chopped down from the safety position.
Yeah, I think the Explorers really need to stick to the run. They didn't have a ton of yardage out there, and got to keep the Friars honest, and there's a Friar down on the field.
That was a big hit. We're going to give them a little bit of grace here as they take the time to evaluate this player, and we'll be right back.
Show you a better way to spend your state income taxes and get the money to where it's needed to most to the thousands of qualified kids.
What we like about Blocks is they really know where the need is.
This program ensures that their dollars come 100% into these kids for their tuition assistance.
If you are able, Blocks makes the EITC piece go very quickly and very smoothly.
Turn your PA State tax liability into need-based scholarships and receive a 90% tax credit.
Dunphy Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue, generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference.
Good to see Stevie Smith coming off the field on his own power. That was a big hit there. It's second down and short. Sidwar across the middle. Great coverage. Joey O'Brien, the intended receiver. Max Mooring, that's an outside linebacker. One-on-one against the Notre Dame five-star commit.
Some noise, Riders!
Third down and short. Sidwar stands in. Same play, different result. Touchdown, Joey O'Brien.
I love that. Just commit to the play. They knew it was there. And Joey O'Brien's going to Joey O'Brien. Great pass by Sidwar.
Yeah, Gavin Sidwar and Joey O'Brien just have a really special connection, and it's just so fun to watch.
Such a great dynamic. Love to see it.
And Joey O'Brien with 3 touchdowns now after not having one in the first game against Pittsburgh Central Catholic.
Makes up for it.
Chris Hess, kick.
28-21. And a great job by this LaSalle Explorer offense to start the third quarter the right way. Stay with us, folks, and we'll be right back here on Bob Long Sports.
More people are choosing Faulkner Infiniti of Willow Grove for the outstanding customer service and the extraordinary selection of Infiniti vehicles. Like the all-new 2025 QX80, it's unlike any luxury SUV you've ever experienced. With an all-new design and groundbreaking technology, the Infiniti QX80 has set a new standard in its class. Come experience the QX80 and the entire Infiniti lineup at Faulkner Infiniti of Willow Grove. To be sure.
Here comes the kickoff here. Heck to the 5. Full head of steam for Gibson. A flag comes in.
There is a flag on the play.
Flag on the play in the area of holding against the receiving team, Malvern Prep.
Bob, on that last drive by LaSalle, it lasted 6 plays. They gained 63 yards. Gavin Sidwar went 3 for 4 with 51 yards, and Joey O'Brien had 2 receptions for 42 yards and a touchdown.
Well, O'Brien doubled his yardage there.
They're bringing it back after the penalty, all the way back to the 20-yard line, and that's where Malvern Prep will start the drive. Sold out crowd. It's been sold out since today at 10 o'clock in the morning. And they are 4 and 5 deep along the fence. Melkonian gives it there to Zeke Bates, who gets it out to the 26-yard line. Tyler, they're doing a nice job putting Bates in space.
Yeah, like I said, that's their strength all night, is them attacking the outside on that run. You know, this interior defensive line is doing a really good job for the Explorers. So you got to, play to your own strengths and bounce it to the outside.
2nd and 4.
And there's that double inside reverse. LaSalle up to task. Ryan Fandozzi in there on the stop. Was that Cooper Heilig in there as well? Yes.
They saw enough of that play in the first half. Maybe had a little chalk talk at halftime. And
chalk talk, yes, sir.
Is that copyrighted?
No, I don't think so. I think we're good. Melkonian drops back, flings it underneath, and there's a lot of room there for the tight end, Novak. First down.
Number 41, Dylan Novak. First down, Friars.
That's enough for a first down for Malvern Prep. First down and 10, line to gain is the 46-yard line. Bates off tackle. Bates with a jump cut out to the 40.
Takes it off tackle. Picks up about 3.
Second down, 6 yards to go. Clock ticking, 7:18 to play, third quarter.
2nd and 7.
(28-21). LaSalle leads. There's the handoff to Danny Riley. He's out to the 42. Line to gain is the 46. Third down and manageable.
Tackle made by number 56, Jamel Williams.
Just like you mentioned right after the break, Jack, it looks like the run game will play a huge part in the second half.
Exactly. We've got such great runners on both teams here that it's going to be hard for them to be able to stop them.
The South student section getting loud over there. Third down. A long 3. Melkonian takes the snap. There's Bates. Bates gets through the hole. He runs through a defender. Runs over Joey O'Brien en route to a 7-yard gain and a first down.
Like we just said, that run game has been on point today.
And it's physical, too.
Exactly.
It's Bates meeting O'Brien in the hole and running through him. A little trickeration, and he's got room to the outside. Danny Riley, Swiss Army knife, cuts across to the 40.
Brought down by number 43.
Fakes that throw and comes across the line, and all of a sudden you got a lot of big boys for LaSalle chasing in the wrong direction.
2nd and 1.
There's another handoff going back to the bread and butter on 2nd and short. He's got the first down.
Picks up another Friar. First down.
Coming back on. First down and 10. Line to gain is the 29-yard line of LaSalle. Bit of a meandering, methodical drive here for the Friars as Melkonian rolls to the strong side, takes a shot to the end zone. How about the back shoulder ball? Inside the 5. And that's Cade Cooper. We know what he can do, and he shows you that time.
Insane passing catch there. Holy smokes.
All the way down inside the 5-yard line, and the Friars are humming.
Patrick, you were right about that one.
Yeah, one play late. Or early.
First and goal for your Friars.
First down, goal to go. Inside the 5. They'll go to Bates. He certainly earned it on this drive. Touchdown, Malvern Prep.
What a ball game.
One more look. Get back to the physical brand of football. Good seal on the edge there. That was the fullback, Julius Riddick, who squats 550 and runs a 4.5. That's a unicorn right there, setting the edge. $28-28. Are you kidding me? If you're watching any other high school football game, I encourage you to check this one out. I guess I'm preaching to the choir, but tell your friends that there's a classic going on in Ocean City.
And that was a 10-play drive for Malvern Prep. They gained 80 yards in about 6 minutes, and Zeke Bates had a 1-yard touchdown run.
Kicking off. Gomez. Back to return for the Explorers.
Gomez
Owen Johnson.
will kick into that aforementioned land breeze, but he's got the leg. Owen Johnson back deep to receive, as well as Jimmy Mahoney with 2 excellent returns, one of which for a touchdown here tonight.
Explorers praying for no unexpected sea breeze here.
I like that. Gomez with a driving kick forces Owen Johnson back from his own 3. Johnson has good blocks. Johnson's got a seam. Owen Johnson turns on the Jets. And for the second time here tonight, LaSalle takes it all the way.
He was very close to dropping that before he got in the end zone.
He sure was. We have the replay to slow it down. Not much can slow this man down, but where did he drop the football? Hoy.
He was not in. He was
oh,
not.
My goodness.
He's not in.
Call to the broadcast booth. Owen Johnson got away with one, and he's got something to hear about during film study.
Vintage Deshaun Jackson right there.
Oh, my goodness. We'll tell you what the result of the extra point is, but we got to see this again.
Never.
Ball is out.
It looked like the ref was thinking about it, too.
Yep.
That ball is out before he crosses the plane.
And it was a late touchdown call. I mean, ball's out. Ball is out. Game changer.
Yeah, and I don't want to take away from that insane return. That was really, really good, but wow. Credit to the blocks. You mentioned that there, Bob. He had some great blocks out there, but man.
Returning for your Friars, number 24.
Learning experience. Malvern fans don't like to hear that.
Bring it up on Chalk Talk.
Chris Hack to kick off.
This is that time of night here in Ocean City where the lights are shining bright. It's dusk. It's a live football caught on one hop. Dan Riley, a flag comes in. That's the second consecutive kick return where there was a block in the back from Malvern Prep.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off there, Bob. It was super obvious right in front of the ref. Didn't really even affect the play.
Still awaiting that call, and Riley is down on the play.
Riley's been a huge impact player on the Malvern Prep offense.
Just got to hope that it's summertime cramps.
It's always a shame to see players get hurt on the field, but hopefully they'll be able to walk it off and get back to the game.
I want to thank again Ballard Dermatology and Dr. Mary Griffin for sponsoring our broadcast. I do think it's very apropos after a long summer. And the fact that we're down here in sunny Ocean City, New Jersey, you should enjoy your time with your family and friends. You should wear sunscreen, but you should get your skin checked at least once a year. And Dr. Mary Griffin can help you with that. Ballard Dermatology. That's ballarddermatology.com and 610-664-3330. That's 3300, beg your pardon, 610-664-3300. Dr. Mary Griffin and Ballard Dermatology, proud sponsor. So we asked and you answered. America's favorite game, where you at? Let us know where you're watching the game from, and we'll give you a shout on the air. How about Andrew Bowman checking in from the OC Shuffleboard courts in the East End Zone? That's right, folks. You can and should stream these games from the stands when you are here, because you can watch replays like that last one and determine for yourself if the ball was dropped before the end zone or not. We got Matt Zielinski in Miami Beach, class of 2006, Brian Zielinski, 2011 in Philadelphia, and Mark Zielinski, class of 1977, watching from North Wildwood. John Fitzpatrick watching from Conchie, but he was wishing he was there with Eric Toppy and the crew in Ocean City. Work gets in the way. Thanks to Eric Toppy for throwing a great alumni event prior to this kickoff here tonight. And we can't wait to stay in touch with Eric going forward. Colin Wade watching from down at James Madison University says, let's go LaSalle. And Dan Flynn, class of 65, watching in Ambler, says, good job, Bob. How about Carly Wade checking in as well? On a beautiful Friday night, let's go Explorers. Melconian, one-on-one. Why not go to Jackson Ford? But it was bobbled. Lucas Johnson in there on coverage.
Yeah, Ford he had it. That was a dime of a ball, but just wasn't able to turn around and locate it in time.
And I think that's one where you have a defensive end playing wide receiver. Yes, he can do it, but not high pointing the football the way a receiver that's had more reps in games like this might have been able to do.
That's Lucas Johnson's second pass break of the game, and those are the only two times I think we've said his name, which is good news for the senior cornerback.
Joe McNichol, class of 1991 from LaSalle, checks in.
5'10", block, covering 6'5" there. That's nuts.
Melconian, quick throw and catch. Schuster gets to the next level. Schuster makes one miss. Zyke Scott trying to chase him down. Now O'Brien. O'Brien olays on the tackle attempt, and Zyke Scott, 60-plus yards down the field, makes the tackle. The story is Jack Schuster, but they're going to watch this in film and say, that's our 240-pound linebacker running 60 yards down the field.
And Greg Gordon and his coaching staff will be watching the film and be like, we got to do some tackling drills.
For your Friars!
About 5 missed tackles on that play, but an incredibly well-designed play by the Friars. Perfectly executed.
35-28, late third quarter action. If your friends aren't watching this game right now, be a good friend. Give them the link. This is high school football at its finest. Bates in the backfield along with Melconian. They give it to Zeke Bates. We said we might see a spin move tonight. Dave Guerrero teased that one in our conversation last evening. He got 5.
Down by number 44, Zach Kent.
Just a battle. Dare I say an instant classic. I don't want to say that yet, but I just put it out there.
2nd and 6.
They gave him 4 on the play. Line to gain is about the 14-yard line, ball on the 20.
Ryan Fandozzi's been in on a lot of plays when LaSalle has successfully stopped the run.
Jack Schuster got them to this spot, his first varsity start. Now Melkonian won the job in this game last year. Trying to make a play, and it's nearly intercepted. Dangerously close to the spot where Eddie Sutter had a game-winning interception on this side of the field in last year's game.
Yeah, Jamel Williams put the pressure on there, got a big hit in there as well.
Trey Hopkins with a nose for the football, got one fingertip on it. 3rd down, 6 yards to go. You would think 4 down territory, but there's still a lot of time, and Gopez should have no problem from a length standpoint at what would be a 37-yarder.
And Trey Hopkins has been playing great defense today. The times that we've heard his name in a negative way has just been purely better offense by Malvern.
3rd and 6 as Melkonian has a great pocket. Now it starts to break down. Incomplete.
And that's where leaving your feet gets you in trouble. He got absolutely wrecked there.
It was a good pocket for a good 2 seconds, 2.5 maybe. And then you are right, Tyler. Couldn't get much on the throw, and it's going to have some pain in the morning on that one.
Might have you second thinking that jump shot pass in the future, at least in the face of pressure.
We got our buddy Gordon Bombay, who again is going under a surname there, watching from Morningside and Ocean City. Couldn't get a ticket. Class of 04 and class of 10 checking in. Joey O's grandparents watching from home in Roxborough. Let's go Explorers. And boy, wouldn't this be a time after a timeout for the young man that has as good a hands, as good athleticism as you'll see at any level, playing center field out there to make a play in this game. 3 huge touchdowns offensively, pacing the way for the LaSalle offense. And Travis Hunter style, Tyler. Does he have a huge play defensively to swing this one tonight?
Yeah, I'm not sure, Bob. I mean, this would be a huge stop for the Explorers here. They've only gotten a handful of defensive stops. I want to say 3. And there is a drone on the field. But I believe this is an Interac game, Bob, correct? And it's
a non-PIAA game.
Yeah, we found out last year that drones are allowed.
Probably not preferred on the turf itself, but yes, allowed.
Handles the land breeze quite well.
There's always something, right? And that's the word of the day.
Hey, I mean, you started.
I did.
You're the one that Googled it.
Buddy Werner, our buddy, LaSalle dad, proud LaSalle dad, looked that up for us.
Thanks, buddy.
LaSalle student section on their feet for 4th down. Melkonian, he'll take it with his legs and is chopped down. 1st down, LaSalle going the other way. The defense gets the biggest stop of the night.
Oh, Melkonian didn't like that hit, but I don't know what else. Wow.
We're going to come out of replay here to show you what's going on.
There is a fight on the field that is still escalating.
Looked like Grayson McHugh was getting shoved out there.
Well, he would have had to have left the sideline. I don't think he was on the field for that snap, was he?
It did seem like some players did come to try to break up the fight.
That was a huge play for LaSalle. Could define the game if they get a score here, go up 2 possessions.
That was insane pressure.
Yeah,
Kudos to that defensive front.
And to your point, Jackson Melkonian really didn't even get the feet set at any point on that drop back. Was already scrambling.
He got set all right. He took 2 huge hits in a row there.
35-28 LaSalle. Late 3rd quarter action here from Carey Stadium, historic Carey Stadium at Ocean City High School.
Wow. What a play. That was a huge play.
The atmosphere feels like LaSalle just won the game, but we still got a quarter left.
Yeah.
Malvern's got too good a defense to say that as Sidwar takes a shot, and there's only defensive backs. It's intercepted, and now LaSalle's got a bunch of big guys back behind the play. Who's going to be able to make the tackle?
I feel like you spoke that one into existence.
That's Trey Gibson. They love him in the secondary. The Fordham commit makes the biggest play of the game.
That Landry's just took the ball from Sidwar, went a little too far for an arm punt. And Malvern Prep's in very similar territory to where they just lost the football. Crazy football game here. Bob, you're getting so many copyright strikes.
Yes. Welcome to the jungle. We got copyright strikes. If this channel's on the air tomorrow, we did something right. We prayed to somebody. Jack Schuster. Schuster is quick, and he's to the next level.
He's brought down by number 6.
Just missed tackles. Explains the Explorers defense pretty well tonight, I think.
Clear lateral there. And Schuster got to the edge.
Gain of 8. Second. And
O'Brien did a nice job forcing him back inside towards the help, but not before a gain of 8 yards.
You're the Explorers defense here. You know, clock's winding down. You've been on the field quite a bit. You thought you had a breather.
2nd down and 2. Melkonian in the shotgun, just too wide on the boundary side of the field. And that opens up the edge for Zeke Bates. Zyke Scott helps to rip him down, and they should give him forward progress for a 1st down.
I'm not really sure what you're supposed to do there as the Explorers. There was momentum. That's a weak call.
A late hit is going to be called. I know this replay does not have the timing, but those whistles were late, and then I thought those feet got tied up at the end. If you're Zyke Scott and if you're defensive coordinator Dave Sowers, I think you tell Zyke Scott to play that exactly the same way next time. Physical and to the whistle.
I think the call was a face mask, actually.
Okay, well.
So maybe the same exact way minus a face mask.
Right. That's right. In that case, no harm, no foul there.
But it did look like the call was a late hit.
Yeah. When I say no harm, no foul, I think the officials got it right.
Yes.
Right? I mean, that's not a situation where officials are late to blow the whistle.
Let's be clear.
And then the play is finished to that late whistle. That's just you can't grab the mask.
But let's be clear, that was a foul.
That's right. 1st down and 10. Ball just outside the 15-yard line, Malvern Prep. There should have been a false start. What do we say about late whistles?
You catch that on the instant replay there, Bob?
Talk to me, Goose.
Malconia spiked the ball, and it hits him right in the head.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. The LaSalle student section will love that one.
The McGeary family checking in, by the way, poolside from Montgomeryville. Well, if you can't be at the beach right now, being poolside on a night like this on the Friday of Labor Day weekend is doing pretty good. The McGearys, you got something right, my friends. Good job, and thanks for watching LaSalle football. I want some Malvern love. Malvern folks can play where you at as well. We think so much of the institution, of Dave, of the program, and we appreciate you guys watching the telecast. Our good friends, by the way, at Penn Live will be broadcasting Malvern Prep games throughout the year. Bruce Badgley and I are good buddies, and he's done games with me for many, many years. So I think you guys at Malvern Prep will enjoy having him on the calls throughout the year. End of the quarter. Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back for the 4th quarter on Bob Long Sports.
Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Meet David and Kay-May, a dynamic team with a shared mission to help you turn your real estate dreams into reality. What sets them apart? Their wealth of experience, combined with a genuine passion for guiding clients every step of the way. They believe everyone deserves personalized attention, fair treatment, and expert advice throughout the process, ensuring your journey is smooth and successful. David and Kay-May go above and beyond to meet your needs, ensuring expectations are not just met, but exceeded. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer or a seasoned investor, their personalized approach and commitment to service make every real estate journey smooth and rewarding. Contact them today to get started on your next real estate adventure.
Welcome back to Bob Long Sports as we start the fourth quarter. LaSalle has a 1-touchdown advantage, but Malvern Prep is in striking distance.
Got a 35-28 score here. Looking to see what will decide the fate of this game in this final quarter.
That's Pat Burkhead and Jack Burns. So thrilled to have them both along with Jack McGuire, students from LaSalle, on our telecast here tonight. I'm Bob Long. He's Tyler Kern on the analyst chair. Not much doing on the Wildcat coming out of the third quarter break. Zeke Bates runs into the defensive line of LaSalle, who pushed that O-line back.
Julius Riddick with the lead block again. I feel like Malvern Prep has really been liking him as a lead blocker.
And I expect him to be the guy next year. Dan Riley, Zeke Bates, both seniors. Riddick, a sophomore with big-time traits. He popped, Dave Guerrera said, during the inter-squad scrimmage. This is Malvern's first game of the year. Did not have what you would truly call a week 0 matchup.
Wow. This is a heck of a coming out party.
Here's Jackson Melkonian. Melkonian over the middle, going down to make the play. That's a solid catch there by Cade Cooper.
Yeah, that's an insanely caught ball there. That's a pretty big deal, making it 3rd and 9. 4-down territory, most likely. I don't see them taking the 3 points here.
I may dog ear that one. Let's see what happens on 3rd down, but perhaps you take the points and get to the point where a touchdown wins you the football game. 3rd and 9 for Jackson Melkonian. Over the middle, incomplete. There's Joey O'Brien with that big-time defensive play. Got an arm in there. All 6'5" with that wingspan of him. And it's 4th down and decision time. One more look at O'Brien, Tyler.
Yeah, just O'Brien being O'Brien there. You know, obviously has a sense for where the ball is going to be, and he's all over that.
Yeah, that's why Notre Dame wants him. He's a special athlete. He's all over the field. He's fast, and he just has such great size.
And he looks good in a gold helmet.
Yep.
4th down. Melkonian out there. Jackson Ford wide to the boundary side of the field. Cooper on the near side as we see it. Here's the 4th down play. They throw it up for Jackson Ford. Incomplete. And a turnover on downs.
I love that play call from the Explorers. They brought the house there. And like you said, Bob, kind of throwing it up to Ford, who maybe doesn't have the best ball intuition.
I believe Lucas Johnson was there on the pass breakup.
That's Lucas Johnson feeling himself, Pat. Yes.
Seen him match up against Ford really well for the size difference.
7 inches. That's crazy. Playing like they're the same size.
We're hearing the name Johnson a lot. Owen on offense and Lucas on defense. Great job by those two brothers.
10 minutes and 29 seconds to play in the 4th quarter. It's a 35-28 lead for LaSalle. Sidwar. And a good move there, but Malvern Prep wraps him up pretty quickly. Owen Johnson on the catch.
Owen Johnson there had to hurdle his own guy.
Dan Riley ran through the one block and really blew up that play. And now Malvern Prep Fryer is down on the play.
Yeah, I could see the cramp from here.
This portion of today's game brought to you by Andrew Buddha Rakowski and the Riley Rakowski and Malloy Funeral Home. Buddha Rakowski from the class of 1998, good buddies with Brett Gordon, supports Brett as well as the entire football program. Always great to have these guys involved. Buddha's a great time, and we appreciate him supporting what we do here so we can bring this all to you free of charge with my group here that we love coming to you every Friday night. That's the Riley, Rakowski, and Malloy Funeral Home. Great supporter of our coverage.
And Bob, I have some third quarter stats. First for LaSalle, 48 rushing yards, 154 passing yards, 202 total yards, 260 yards on kick returns. For Malvern Prep, 229 rushing yards, 149 passing yards, and 378 total yards.
Wow. I was really waiting for that kick return stat. Did you say, what was that number?
260.
259.
Call back to the early drop ball before crossing the plane.
A look at the events coming up this fall at LaSalle High School. If you're an 8th grader and you want to become a LaSalle Explorer, and why wouldn't you? 8th grade VIP visits begin on September 8th. Fall open house, which is an awesome day. I've even gone back long after I was a student and have learned some new things there myself. Check out the open house, then take an entrance exam, and you can enjoy an evening at LaSalle on October 24th. Applications due on November 5th. And then here's a look at the LaSalle football schedule. This year, of course, Malvern Prep, here we are tonight. Former state champion Salesianum will host LaSalle next week on Friday night. Calvert Hall comes to town on September 13th. That's a home game at Northeast High School. It's unfortunately one I won't be able to make. So Tyler and team, you guys will run the show that afternoon. And then Philadelphia Catholic League play. The gauntlet starts. How about Roman Catholic State runner-up at the 5A level? St. Joe's Prep 6A state champ and arch rival. Bonner Prendergast 4A state champion last year to finish off them with Cardinal O'Hara and Father Judge. The injured player on the field, Dan, beg your pardon, that's Dylan Novak, number 41. We talked about Novak earlier in the contest, Notre Dame lacrosse commit, and I found that such an incredible story that Bill Belichick wanted to offer him to play football when he was coming to recruit Jake Bauer, who was now playing at UNC. And Novak said, no, my dream is to go to Notre Dame. And we see a couple of Notre Dame commits on the LaSalle side of the field as well. Again, from what I've seen here tonight, where's Marcus Freeman? Maybe he can do both. Hope that young man is okay. Azir Nelson. He's gotten the lion's share of the carries today, and he comes up a little gimpy.
I think his shoe popped off there.
Looked like Jovi O'Brien was getting double teamed on that play.
That makes sense.
Definitely.
Kudos to this defensive front, this run D for the Friars. You know, the LaSalle running offense tonight has been kind of a nothing burger.
3rd and 6.
Big third down. 9:18 to play as Sidwar stands in and takes a hit. And Malvern Prep, they come up with a huge stop on the defensive side of the football. There's George Parkinson. Been excited to see him coming into this contest. An ESPN top 100 type guy as just a sophomore. He's going to be a Power 4 guy. Only he and Jet Harrison in Pennsylvania are top 100 guys in the sophomore class. Comes up with the biggest play defensively of the night.
Every time one team takes a step forward, the other team matches. It's crazy.
Parkinson is lined up on the edge. And it comes off the side of the foot. Out of bounds. Malvern Prep will have it at the 30-yard line.
What a swing.
Parkinson had all the pressure on the third down play, and then Malvern Prep almost got the block.
And you just can't help but feel if they did get the block there, the Explorers would match, and then Malvern would match that. It's, we're just running against the clock here.
Down the stretch we come.
From the 30-yard line.
Keep an eye on Cade Cooper, wide side of the field. Instead, they'll go short.
Pass complete to number 5, Trey Gibson.
Trey Gibson hasn't taken a ton of snaps on the offensive side of the football, but makes a nice play there in the screen game. Second down and 7.
Number 33, Keenan Stahl. Second and 3.
I beg your pardon. Second and 3, gain of 7. Late night. Here we go.
Say that looked a lot better than 3 yards.
7:48 to go. Here's the handoff to Riley. He thinks he can get to the edge, and he sure can. Dan Riley inside the 5. Dives forward to the 3, maybe the 2. And LaSalle's defender there, Tyler, got all out of sorts, Ryan Fandozzi.
Yeah, I was about to say, Fandozzi's done such a fantastic job of setting the edge tonight. He had it there, and then he looked like he wanted to spin back. I don't know what he saw.
Outside zone. Perhaps he thought Riley cut it inside earlier than he did.
Oh, but that's his responsibility there.
That's a first-team All-Catholic defensive end, Tyler Kern, breaking that down for us. Courtesy and circa 2012.
Julius Riddick is in the game. Wouldn't be surprised if they go up the middle to Zeke Bates here.
They sneak it up the middle, did they? A little quick handoff there, and LaSalle thinks they have the football. Hands are in the air. I don't see now. I see that second down signal. LaSalle thought they had the football.
I don't know if that was a sneak or just a fumble.
I think it was like a fullback dive to Riddick.
They might do that again. Second down. Goal to go from the 1. This time they'll go to Bates, and Bates will get home. Touchdown, Malvern Prep.
What a ball game. Holy smokes. The Friars are having a mosh pit on their sideline right now.
Good blocking, and Bates, that's just following your blocks and falling forward.
No wonder this team is so violent. Even their celebrations are violent.
Bates has been such a major player on the Malvern offense today.
And what do you like about his game, Jack?
I think it's his aggression. I mean, he gets the ball and he stops. He goes until he gets knocked down, He does not stop.
The all-important extra point is good. 35-35.
Just as we all anticipated.
And we are all tied up at 35.
This rivalry, particularly in the last 5 years, has not been a high-scoring affair in most cases. 21-17 last year was the highest scoring game. There was a dud a couple years ago where LaSalle got beat 35-0. Last year, of course, Brett Gordon's first year as head coach changed the culture and put this team in a really, really good spot. Won a game, 21-17 against Malvern Prep, and now we got an old-fashioned shootout.
Yeah, you're the Explorers here. Maybe eat some clock, make them march down the field.
On that last drive by Malvern, it lasted 4 plays. They gained 30 yards. Bates, 1 touchdown run. It was his 3rd touchdown of the night.
3 for Bates, 3 for O'Brien.
That ball is hammered into the end zone. No question about that one. Let's get one more look at that one. Off the foot of Will Simmons, number 9. Simmons, they call him Bobby Boucher, the water boy, and that is why he's wearing number 9. He was on kickoff last year, and what Dave Guerrero said is he made every single tackle. I said, yeah, that's great. Yeah, he's all over the place. No, Bobby made every single tackle on special teams last year.
Our own Keith Binsfield's drinking Gatorade up here. Bobby Boucher might not be too happy with that.
That's true. What's that, your 3rd can there? I love that. At least, he says.
He's cramping up in the booth. He's calling it as kids are cramping up on the field.
What you need is some high-quality H2O.
Gatorade.
Appreciate everybody watching us here on Bob Long Sports here tonight. And if you haven't already, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel. Again, doesn't sign you up for anything, doesn't cost you anything. It just helps us. And all we're trying to do is come out here, broadcast football, showcase these young men on both sides of the field. And hopefully we've done that here tonight. What you're watching here are the two best football teams that I've seen so far this high school season in person. I know we're only 2 weeks in, but we saw a state runner-up last week in Central Catholic. Of course, St. Joe's Prep looms, but there's a universe where these two teams in St. Joe's Prep are the 3 best football teams in the state of Pennsylvania.
I think we might be in that universe.
Ozzie Nelson pulled down. Golly, George Parkinson is starting to turn it on. He's bendy, he's physical, he can shed blocks, Tyler, and as a defensive end, you have to love that type of play.
Yeah, they're doing such a good job. That entire defensive front, we cannot get the ball, moving in this run game here. It just puts a lot of pressure on the passing game, and that's when mistakes can happen.
Big second down here and 11 yards to go. Momentum squarely on the Friars side. Sidwar trying to change that and does. Joey O'Brien makes one miss. Joey O'Brien to the 48.
Number 6.
There he is.
Joey O'Brien.
Start running plays up the seam. They find the pocket, and Joey O'Brien. You can see that yak there. What a terrific athlete.
He has been such a great and consistent player this game.
He's got 3 touchdowns by my count. Sidwar sitting down in coverage and then going to get the first down.
Trey Hopkins.
Hopkins hasn't seen a ton of time offensively. Again, another cramp. Back behind the play for Malvern Prep.
I think it's almost solely been Friars cramping up. They got a lot of Gatorade on that sideline. Maybe some nanners, too.
Yeah, it seems like Cade Cooper is in a little bit of pain, too, as he just gets up.
And it seems like Keith Binsfeld is in a little bit of pain as well. Next to us, he's cramping up. If he's cramping up.
Well, he had a heck of a ton of equipment coming up here. He was sweating. He lost some electrolytes here. Bob, I think we need like a sports drink, to sponsor DLS.
If only. If only. Joe Rosano's had a nice game, 6'2", 215. His first start at the linebacker position. As they work on him, Dave Guerrera, the head coach, looking over him. We're going to take a quick break and come back.
More people are choosing Faulkner Infinity of Willow Grove for the outstanding customer service and the extraordinary selection of Infinity vehicles. Like the all-new 2025 QX80, it's unlike any luxury SUV you've ever experienced. With an all-new design and groundbreaking technology, the Infinity QX80 has set a new standard in its class. Come experience the QX80 and the entire Infinity lineup at Faulkner Infinity of Willow Grove, to be sure.
Still working on Joe Rosano. Great training staff here from Malvern Prep. As they do that, let's send it to Jack McGuire.
So far this game, Joey O'Brien has had 5 receptions for 121 yards and 3 touchdowns.
That's crazy.
It's a great game.
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, his connection with Gavin Sidwar is just different than most quarterback to receiver connections you'll see in high school football.
I mean, once you play together this long, you're bound to build up some trust and foundation.
Off screen, and we're going to keep it that way. Joe Rosano being helped off the field by a trainer and his head coach, it looks like.
First and 10 for the Explorers. Of the 37-yard line.
Don't want to speculate, but you think and hope that that's a cramp.
Let's make some noise! Friars!
Kind of like a WWE hype man here.
Ball on the 37. LaSalle goes back to the running game. Malvern Prep all over it.
Pretty nice gain there, actually, for first down. Got about 5 yards. I really appreciate the Explorers are not abandoning the run. In fact, they should be leaning into it pretty hard, run out this clock.
Joe Suker makes the tackle after a gain of 4.
Explorers could do some damage to this clock here if they just down below 5 minutes.
Suker, a guy, by the way, with the departure of Cam Brickle in the offseason, a guy who had a huge opportunity to come in and be the guy on the interior defensive line. He's done a great job thus far. Gavin Sidwar taken down. Guess who? George Parkinson.
By number 4.
Parkinson is having himself a second half.
Parkinson.
Yeah, Parkinson's only a sophomore, but he looks like a grown man out there.
Man amongst boys. He's playing really well.
Dave Guerrera told us that he has the most, listen closely, the most commitment to his body of any high school kid that he has coached. Think about some of the young men that have come through Malvern Prep and what that statement means. Spoke very highly of his upbringing. And he's going to be a tough cover, a tough block for anybody at the high school level for the next 3 years. Sidwar steps up and delivers for Jimmy Mahoney. Mahoney turns on the Jets.
Mahoney's speed this game has just been unmatched.
What I like here is that he's going to turn upfield and force that defender to give up the edge right there. And so as soon as that defender breaks down, Mahoney jets to the sideline, and that's the difference in him getting a first down and not.
I think Sidwar thought about running that, saw Mahoney open, and also remembered that hit he took last time he ran downfield and made a great play.
And that Mahoney's the track star.
Yeah.
Something important to mention, Dylan Novak and Joe Lozano are now both up from the bench. They are the two that needed injury timeouts.
You start to think about time here. 3 minutes, 31 seconds to play. Nelson, good move in space. Azir Nelson close to the first down marker. They'll give him 8.
Nelson is just getting better and better as he goes tonight, and yet another injury.
It seemed like Joey O'Brien helped stretch him out there.
I didn't see that. Explain.
He went over and stretched out his leg for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Like what the trainers do when you have a cramp. You take that leg to the sky as much as you can. Yep. A LaSallian gentleman. And 2 programs rooted in faith. By the way, we can't go 48 minutes without congratulating Malvern Prep as well as Villanova University for an Augustinian Pope Leo the 14th. Chicago Pope, I've heard enough of that. That's hashtag Nova Pope where I come from.
Yeah, we were got to be in Rome for when he was picked. That was pretty cool this year.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
I was just out there in our honeymoon, and funny timing how that worked. And yeah, we were there.
What was the vibe?
It was crowded. It was so weird when they were picking them. The streets were empty. Everyone was looking at their phones. The people you did see. It was pretty cool, pretty surreal.
Once in a lifetime experience.
So this clock did start ticking again after the officials whistle. We're ticking under 3 minutes to go in a tie football game. Late 4th quarter action. JP Oates has one-on-one defensively. And now Johnson comes to the near side of the field. Flags everywhere. But before the flag, timeout called by LaSalle. First called timeout of the half for the Explorers. And we'll take this break with them. Stay with us.
Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Meet David and Kay May, a dynamic team with a shared mission to help you turn your real estate dreams into reality. What sets them apart? Their wealth of experience combined with a genuine passion for guiding clients every step of the way. They believe everyone deserves personalized attention, fair treatment, and expert advice throughout the process, ensuring your journey is smooth and successful. David and Kay may go above and beyond to meet your needs, ensuring expectations are not just met, but exceeded. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer or a seasoned investor.
Big play, second down. 3 yards to go. Sidwar in the shotgun. And they'll hand it to Nelson. Finds a seam and tripped up. Depending on the spot, they'll have him, it looks like, a yard short. Zeke Bates in there on the stop. 2 minutes and 25 seconds to go. LaSalle doesn't even want to think about a fourth down, but lodge that one in your mind. What do you do on a stuff here? LaSalle's going to roll that offensive line, averaging 285 across the front. Will they go to Nelson? Sidwar into the shotgun. Third and short. Game on the line. Sidwar, crossing pattern, and there's a late flag. It was incomplete, intended for Joey O'Brien, and we'll get another look through some big bodies, no doubt, at what looks like a pass interference call, and that is the call. Again, hard to see through all those bodies, but you're looking at the right arm there of that defensive back. Does he get it around the right side of Joey O'Brien and start to turn him?
Can't tell.
It's hard to tell.
That might be a game-deciding call right there from the refs, too.
Because now it's a first down, and LaSalle can think about taking this clock down.
Yeah, it's almost...
I'm going to ask for some eyes here. Malvern Prep on the scoreboard. Is that 1?
2.
Or
no,
2?
1. No, it's 1.
Boy,
it is 1. No, I'm looking at the iPad right here. It says 1.
You think about taking a couple of knees here? Ozzie or Nelson,
Nope.
They're not taking knees. Touchdown, LaSalle. They're scoring now, and they'll trust their defense.
Wow. That pass interference call was huge.
I mean, we've said it from the beginning. The run game has been critical this entire game for both teams.
What do we think there, guys? I think you have to score there, but 1:55 on the clock, even if you don't score on 3 downs, you could take that down to 35 seconds and kick a field goal from about here. Do you take yourself up 7 with 1:55 to play, or do you take yourself up 3 with 35 seconds left?
I like Coach's decision. I think he should trust his defense, and we'll see how it plays out. But I think he should have faith in his players.
There's another Fryer down on the field.
And on Patrick's point, I was thinking the same thing. I like the call from Coach Gordon there, getting the 7 points rather than taking some knees, wasting Malvern's timeout, and getting 3 points.
Yeah, it's really a decision of if you want to put the pressure on your defense or the pressure on their offense. And I think, you get the ball 35 seconds, that's a lot of pressure on this Friars offense and march down the field.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a coin flip.
That's why I don't want to be a high school football coach.
Obviously, these guys have a vision, and they stuck to it there, and they're up 7.
Along with number 5, Trey Gibson.
Minute 50 to go. It's a good spot to be.
if Malvern can drive it down the field. Put this one in your mind. What do you do? Ian, go pass for the tie in overtime or go for the win? Long way to go. Chris Heck with a line drive kick into the wind, returnable from the 5. Steven Smith is knocked down. How about the kick coverage by LaSalle? Jimmy Mahoney in there on the stop.
Bob, some stats from last drive. Last drive lasted 9 plays. LaSalle gained 80 yards. Gavin Sidwar went 3 for 3, passed for 67 yards. Gavin Sidwar is now 13 for 17 on the day, 215 yards total.
I think Brandon Murray was also in on that special teams play. He's a really talented sophomore defensive back.
I think they've been using him a few times today. I recognized that earlier.
If the Explorers win this, I think the special teams is the difference today.
2 kick return touchdowns.
Here we go. Jackson Melkonian looking to engineer a 2-minute drill. Melkonian on a pump, and he'll take off with it. Hit hard after a gain of 2 yards. Clock will continue to run under 1:30.
They are taking their time here.
Still got just the 1 timeout to go.
Down to 1:15 by the time they snap this off.
Slow to get back to the line. 4 wide set for Melkonian. Melkonian steps up. He gets rid of the football, and it's incomplete. That's a heck of a decision.
And that's Jamel Williams with the pressure.
That was dangerous. That is a turnover-worthy throw there.
And yet, it saves probably a timeout or 25 seconds.
This defensive front needs to bring it here. Keep the pressure on. Not let these Friars get any momentum.
Melkonian on 3rd down. Again runs out of time. And big time tackle in space.
Jamel Williams absolutely walloped Melkonian.
Yeah, Jamel's committed to Albany, and he's just a powerful defensive tackle for LaSalle. One of the core leaders of the 2026 class.
Clock is ticking. 4th down and short. Here's Melkonian. Ford makes the catch. That will stop the clock momentarily, and then a flag comes in after the play. This will be massive. So a 1st down. Keep an eye off screen.
Oh, there's a punch thrown down there, it looked like.
And who did you see there, Tyler?
Just right there. I don't know. It looks like a helmet gets slammed on the ground after the play. Yeah.
Which helmet? Which team?
Explorers guy was down.
Here's your personal foul call. It is against Malvern Prep. 35 seconds left.
I don't get why you're doing that. You're getting in a scuffle with 35 seconds left. You should be... Was that off?
Well, it was after the play. They got the 1st down.
Okay.
It'll be 1st and 10. And then they will walk it off 15 yards. Malvern Prep will need to go 84 yards in 35 seconds.
D-line needs to bring it.
Safeties are Mahoney and O'Brien. Melkonian again running out of time. He fires into traffic. It's caught. And he gets down the sideline. Tripped up at the 45. And it's a good thing for LaSalle fans that he was, because otherwise Jack Schuster with that 4.5 speed could have gone the distance.
Schuster was absolutely gone there. The Explorers are incredibly lucky that he got tripped up. That was a touchdown all day.
The Ocean City Turf Monster.
One of those safeties got in there. Was it O'Brien? It was hard to tell.
Someone made like a shoestring tackle there.
On Schuster. 21 seconds left. Still 1 timeout for Malvern Prep. They need to go 60 yards. Bad snap. Melkonian. He's going to take off with it, take the yardage he can, and step out of bounds. They got him all the way inside the 40-yard line. We got ourselves a ball game.
12 seconds.
Maybe 3 plays. Maybe.
One timeout, right?
One timeout. Field is wide open here.
Holy smokes.
Remember that the clock stops after first downs, even when tackled in the field of play, until the chains can get reset.
Yeah, problem bringing 3 guys. No one really to set the edge there.
Melkonian won the job in this game last year against Skylar Smith. Does he have more magic? Timeout called by LaSalle. And I think that's the right call there. You got to get the defense set up here. But it also lets Malvern Prep go to the drawing board. I think you'll take your chances with 40 yards to play with for LaSalle. Make sure that everyone's in the right spot. Let's go down the line real quick. Jack McGuire, Pat Burkhead, and Jack Burns. Thoughts on how we got to this point and where we sit right now?
I'll go first, Bob. I think what we've been saying all game, I think that the running game has got us to this point in the game, both for LaSalle and for Malvern. I think that Malvern's running back Bates has kept them in the game and more, and LaSalle's running back Azir Nelson has gained some really big yards. And then the special teams for LaSalle, I think, is the deciding factor at the moment in this time.
Yeah, I agree with Jack. Huge emphasis on the special teams. Both returning kicks, tackling, runners, all of that, and just the physicality.
I think Schuster's been a good weapon for Malvern here. They've been able to give him the ball when Bates has been double blocked or, he can't get through because of the defense is targeting him.
Melkonian first and 10, 12 on the clock. Melkonian over the middle. It's caught and out of bounds.
I think you're right, Bob. I think you got 3 plays. I think you take the shot here, though.
Trey Gibson with the catch.
You can throw it up the middle of the field. Obviously, first down. Clock stops temporarily at the high school level, but you got the timeout.
7 seconds. Ball on the 21-yard line.
So someone's got to be a hero here, whether it's Friars or Explorers.
Can Malvern steal one here in Ocean City? 5 wide. Melkonian. Got to get out of bounds or got to get to the end zone. They got him inside the 5. And there's no time on the clock. As it stands right now, it's over. But the officials will deliberate. Don't go anywhere.
Oh,
the clock reads triple zeros.
That was a long developing play there.
Gibson tried to get to the end zone. He was cut down short. And there is a penalty against Malvern Prep. LaSalle can decline that penalty if it was indeed before the end zone, and this game would be over. I did not see a touchdown call, and so LaSalle will decline the penalty, and the ball game is over. It's an instant classic from Ocean City. 35-28, battle at the beach delivers again.
Wow. I'm at a loss for words there. As a Friars fan, yeah, I'd be pretty disappointed with that. There were some, pretty tight calls made this game.
The offensive penalty was declined because there was no time on the clock. Ball would have been spotted inside the 5. Of course, LaSalle would have accepted the penalty at that point if it was otherwise a touchdown. And Malvern Prep's 2-minute drill comes up just short.
He thought he had it too. I thought he did too. That was crazy. Obviously, the penalty kind of offsets anything there, but.
Stay with us post-game, folks. We're going to do our best to get down there with our wireless mic and get a post-game interview. So Jack McGuire, great job. Pat Burkhead, awesome. Jack Burns, so happy to have you part of the crew. Keith Binsfeld, you're the man. Great job with the camera. Tyler Kern, 8 years strong, buddy. We'll keep it going. Malvern fans, thank you very much for joining us here tonight. You guys have a terrific football team, and you have a great year ahead of you. The Interact doesn't know what's coming, or maybe that's the problem. Maybe they do. Dave Guerrero, one of our favorites.
It makes me disappointed that Malvern can't compete for a state championship.
Could you imagine a state semifinal between two teams like this?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it makes me so disappointed.
So we will now leave it to these guys in the booth while I head down with the wireless mic. I'm going to trade Jack McGuire there. I'm also going to get in your ear and make sure that we're okay from a connection standpoint. We'll see how far out we can get with this microphone. All right, Tyler, Jack, Pat, we'll take it away.
All right, guys, you want to give some feedback? What'd you think?
I think this was a great game. I think it was a great battle between these two amazing teams. I think, it really was, Malvern had some small mistakes that caused them some penalties and some unfortunate injuries on the field that delayed this game. And just some unnecessary and some unfortunate penalties that caused some damage. Overall, it was a great game. They both played great offense. Special teams on this was great. Mahoney, with his drive down the field, was amazing to see. 2 of those type touchdowns. Malvern had great running. So did LaSalle. These players really gave it their all, and I think it was a great game on both sides, no matter who won, who lost. Close game, and it was great to see, great to watch, and such an amazing experience down here in Ocean City.
Yeah, big win for the Explorers. Great way to go 2-0. And the most important part about this is now that they have the experience to be in a close battle. Pittsburgh Central was a dogfight, but they came out, not a blowout, but not a 7-point game, not a 1-possession game. So the fact that LaSalle experienced this high-scoring dogfight, I think it's great for them and for down the road.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's why you put yourself in this situation pre-PCL. You want to give yourself, the most challenging opponent, so you're ready come PCL time and, God willing, state playoff time. It's been great having you guys in the booth up here.
Not to interrupt, of course, but just want to make sure that this is coming through loud and clear.
It is, yes.
And we did hear Bob.
How about now?
Yeah, we hear you, Bob. You look great, too, but you can't hear us.
Not great TV, of course, but you'll let me know when I'm far away. Perfect. So stand by, and as soon as they're done with the post-game discussion, I will bring them right to the sideline.
Okay. Bob Long going to tag in Brett Gordon, the winning coach of this game, and probably Joey O'Brien, I would think, or, whatever other player of the game he felt.
You have to talk to Gavin Sidwar here. Great game from such a great quarterback.
Yeah, I think we, are so used to Gavin playing so well. Obviously, he was lights out today. Who's your player of the game?
For both teams?
Yeah, give me both teams.
I'd say for Malvern, it's Bates. He was a great part of their offense and was able to gain them a lot of yards. And for LaSalle, I'd say O'Brien probably, or Mahoney the special teams were great today, and Mahoney today with his touchdown really set a precedent for this game.
Yeah, that's a great point. Also, Owen Johnson with a kickoff return as well.
Yes, that's great.
We did capture that being dropped before crossing the end zone.
Small mistakes, but it's okay.
Yeah, it was called as is.
Yeah.
Players are breaking down here, so I see Bob prowling. Grab Brett Gordon. Should be with us in a moment.
Any more thoughts on the game, Jack?
I think we said it all.
Yeah. All right.
Goes without saying.
Yeah.
You can just leave it to Bob, and then we'll close out.
Although I do have to say, Bob finding out who he wants to talk to can't be an easy decision here. So many players played very well.
Exactly, yes.
Yay or nay? Keep coming. And of course, you can lift that thing up as well, the receiver. Good up there? Okay. Victorious head coach of LaSalle High School, Brett Gordon, is with us. These games always deliver.
It's a great matchup against two great programs. That's why we play the game every year. This game was certainly a roller coaster in all three facets of the game. As I just told the team there, you know, when you're up against good teams, it's just a matter of digging deep and figuring out ways to win at the end. And we got a good drive. Our offense put together a good drive. We certainly had help from special teams tonight. And then, you know, defensively, we came up with a stop at the end, had the help with the holding call, but I was standing right there. It was a hold. So we'll learn from it. At the end of the day, we're 2-0 and beat two really good football teams.
You sure did. What does the scheduling mean to you as the head coach of this football team in getting to this point and challenging your guys before we even hit September?
Yeah, we want to have the opportunity for our guys to play in great environments. We were last week. We were certainly again this week, really to get us ready for the home stretch coming, you know, in October and hopefully into November and December. So to play really good teams that challenge us, and then we can learn from things we need to continue to work on. And then certainly when you're able to win those games like that and still have things to work on, it's something to build off of.
Joey O'Brien, one of the best to ever do it at LaSalle, certainly one of the best to come out of Pennsylvania, showed it today offensively, a couple big plays defensively as well.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure offensively that we dialed Joey in a little better than we did last week, make him a focal point right out of the gate. So it was good to see him get going. You know, I thought the passing game for the most part we're playing on time. And then we got help from some other guys too. Jimmy Mahoney stepped up huge tonight on offense with a couple of really big plays. Owen as well. So again, a lot of praise to go around, but certainly plenty to work on.
I don't remember a better special teams game in the kick and punt return game than what I've seen tonight in my time doing LaSalle football. What is that?
So when we hired Neil French this offseason, Coach French came on board, was a long-term assistant at Neshaminy, has a big background in both defense and special teams in particular. So he works really hard. He does a great job coaching the kids. They are dialed in. We spend a lot of time on special teams, and to see that rewarded tonight with how we did in the execution in our extra points, and then certainly those two big kickoffs, and then our kickoff coverage there at the end. We harp on that. He does a great job, and I can't say enough good things about him.
We talked a little bit about the environment here tonight, but LaSalle showed up. We were walking in the stadium 2 hours before the game, and there were 100 students waiting to be let in. What does this community mean to you, and what do the young men, how do they feel in return?
I've always said, like, when LaSalle football is playing to its capability, there is no better fan support anywhere in the state of Pennsylvania. So we started to see a little bit last year with some support. I knew this year going in with all the expectations. We love our fans. We love our student section. We love the alumni. And like I said, when LaSalle football is playing well, there's no better group to have supporting us than them. So we're super appreciative of it.
Labor Day at the beach, a little better with the win. Sure, it feels good, Brett. Thank
you, Bob. We appreciate all your support. And hail LaSalle.
Brett, congrats. We're going to hang in for just a minute and see if we can get a couple of players.
that corner, that's where your dad and I are. Okay. Okay, just walk down, straight there. You can get on right there. Okay. I have a thing called the line insurance. My food finder that never works with it. It's because technology's it's a little too old on the finder, so it's got this like codec thing. Little balls that are like, yeah.
We okay down there up there? Good? Joey O'Brien is with us. 3 touchdowns, some huge plays defensively. Comes down to the final moments of the game. What's it feel like to have that type of game here tonight?
Feels great just because, you know, it always feels good when you beat a good team, and they're a great team. So just to come out on top with how many injuries we had, and it was just a great feeling.
You're going against a very talented secondary. You certainly did your thing. What allowed you?
Kind of just the film we watched. We watched a lot of film, game plan for them really good. So I feel like Coach Gordon dialed up great, and if he keeps doing that, well, he will keep doing that, and it's just we're gonna be hard to beat.
You've had a chance to play in a number of these games down at the beach against a really good Malvern Prep team. Does this one stand out more than the others?
I feel like yes, because it's my senior year. It's the last one. That's the one you want to get. So I think this is probably my most liked one.
And so you go Pittsburgh to Ocean City. You're playing 2 of the top 5 teams in the state. How do you feel you guys have matched up? Certainly 2 wins, but how does it feel at this point?
I feel like I'm really excited because I don't think we played our best in either of the games, to be honest. And I think we're going to be very dangerous once we get that in check. Like the first game, our offense didn't do really well. This game, our defense didn't do really well. So when we get that fixed, I think we're going to be a scary team.
And you've had an opportunity now to become a little bit of an icon here locally. I see you over there with young men and women signing footballs for them. We're going to let you get back to that, of course. What does that mean to you? You have so much football ahead of you, but what does it mean that you are a role model for so many kids?
I feel like it's just a great feeling because that's who you look up to as a kid. Like, that's who I looked up to. And I just feel like I have to show them respect and help them out with everything that we do. I remember being that and wanting autographs, getting pictures. So even if there's a lot of them, I always make sure to get all of them because that's just what I like to do for them.
Well, go get out of here and sign the football for the next Joey O'Brien, all right? Stay with us, folks. We're going to get Jimmy Mahoney here in a second. How we feeling up there, folks? Sounding good? Well, I'm glad. Because we're going to bring you right over here, and we're going to talk to Ozzie Nelson, the lead tailback for the LaSalle Explorers. Great game, Ozzie. Congrats on a good win. How does it feel to be toting the rock for the LaSalle Explorers this year?
It feels great. You know, I got a great team around me, and, you know, last year I really didn't play because I tore my ACL, and this year I got to go off because, you know, I haven't played. I got to show everybody what I could do.
Well, and you have, and what we've noticed is your ability to finish runs through contact. Where does that come from?
Before the game, you know, my dad always talks trash to me, makes me mad, so I always got to finish the runs. Where he going to talk smack to me.
Do you expect any smack talk tonight after the way you finished this game this evening?
Always. He always got something to say.
Oh, man. Well, put me in your corner. I think you finished the runs great. I know LaSalle's happy to have you. How about that offensive line that you're running behind? Some big boys there. What have you seen as this line has matured year over year?
I love my offensive line, you know, even in practice. Like, they tell me, they pick me up. They basically do everything an NFL line do, for real. And it's really great to have them blocking for me.
And then this environment, Azir, to come down here to the beach and experience this. What is this like for you?
It was great, you know, because freshman year I didn't play. Sophomore year I got injured. This year I had to show everybody I could do in front of thousands of people. You know, I was a little nervous at first, but all the jitters went away.
Well, keep toting the rock, my friend. It's great to talk to you, and congrats on a big win. Ozzie Nelson with us here post-game. We do have Jimmy Mahoney here. And worth the wait, we have Jimmy Mahoney with us. No question that the newspaper reporters needed to talk to you. You got some friends over there. And why not? For the game that you had offensively and on special teams, walk us through what is a special night for you.
Yeah, so it started with the kickoff. Amazing blocking, really. I knew I had to set the tone. They were already up 7-0, but I knew I had to do something to spark, you know, the team. And I saw a hole open up. I hit it and just ran for the touchdown. That really brought the team together. And then at halftime, we knew we needed to come out and finish the job. So our defense stepped up on that final drive, but our offense ultimately did the job the whole game. So proud of everyone, proud of all of my players, the offensive line, everyone that stepped up. So it was a great game overall.
One of the first big plays that I remember you making in a LaSalle uniform was last year, interception return. I'm sure that's a fun one to think back on.
Oh, yeah. That was my first real varsity play, I guess you could say, major play. But that made me want to come back this year. I know I had to step up this year with a lot of seniors leaving. The coaches believe in me, all my players, my teammates, they believed in me, so it's a great game.
Probably a simple question. Being track helps you be fast, and fast is good in football, but what has track and field done for your game on the gridiron?
Yeah, it starts with my track coaching staff, really. We got a couple new coaches. They helped me out through everything. I would say track was probably my main sport coming into LaSalle. So just getting faster every single day as a sprinter, and then it transfers onto the football field, especially at receiver and defensive back where you need that speed. But track has definitely helped me a lot, especially in the football field.
What does it mean to be playing at this level, to see this program resurging to where it should be and taking down another fantastic program on Labor Day Friday?
Oh, yeah, it was awesome. I mean, this night was unbelievable. Like I said last year, I knew I needed to step up with a lot of seniors leaving, but, I mean, it's a blast. This is really a blessing. I'm grateful to be on this team, this organization.
Keep doing your thing, Jimmy. Thanks for spending time with us.
Thank you so much.
Jimmy Mahoney, what a night for him. Go enjoy with your family and friends and enjoy Labor Day weekend.
Thank you, you too.
Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Bob. On behalf of Jack, Pat, Keith, and Bob, of course, I'm Tyler Kern signing off. We'll see you guys next week in Wilmington. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.